All right, hello and welcome to another episode of the Paper Dungeon. Today is going to be episode 5. It's freaking crazy that we're already up to 5 episodes. Um, this one's going to be super, super exciting. There's going to be a lot of action that goes on in this. So if you guys haven't seen the first 4 episodes, please go watch them. All of the VODs are on our YouTube channel, so it should be super, super easy. You can also listen to them in a podcast version. We're on just about every platform, I believe, for a podcast. So just look up the Paper Dungeon and you'll be able to find us in a lot of different ways. We do have a couple announcements. First and foremost, this episode is going to be pre-recorded. We had some scheduling issues that wouldn't allow us to be live on Monday, but most of us will be in the chat on Monday. We're going to have a little party just within ourselves of being on a Zoom call, watching the stream, and then we'll be in the chat hanging out with you guys. So definitely still feel free to keep watching. Please keep watching, actually. But we'll be in the chat getting to hang out with you guys. There's just a couple of us that wasn't able to make it on Monday. And because this is such an important episode, we wanted to make sure that we got it taken care of. Also, because this is pre-recorded, we didn't want to have our giveaway this Monday. So next Monday, October 12th, will be when we're doing that. Hannah's going to tell you a little bit more about it.
Yes. So in case you weren't with us last week or you just want a reminder, this is the shirt that we will be giving away.
Woo, it's so pretty.
It's so pretty. The final design is by Lydia. The concept is by Grant, and I just assembled it together. So all you'll have to do is be in the stream. We will give you the keyword that you have to type. You'll just type that in the chat and you will be automatically entered. When we decide to announce the winner, whether that'll be after the break or at the end of the stream, we'll just click a little button and it'll let you know if you won. And if you did win, we'd appreciate a whisper chat either on Twitch or on our Instagram or Twitter to let us know your t-shirt size and where you want that sent.
Great. Sweet. Couple other things that we just want to say. We just recently reached 200 subscribers or followers on Twitch, which is super, super awesome. And we had 150 downloads on Podbean through all of our stuff. So we just want to thank you guys for all the support so far. It's been crazy how quickly things have picked up a little bit with everything. So we're just really super thankful for all of you guys. We're very happy to be doing this. I love DMing for this group. I absolutely love these people. So I'd be happy to do it without the stream, but just getting to show this off for all of you guys as well is super, super fun. And it's always very rewarding. So yeah, we really love you guys. We're very thankful for you guys. Yeah. So is there anything else that anyone wants to say before we get started? All right.
If I may, real quick.
Yeah.
I'd like to say, please don't kill us.
If you want to know what that means, go watch the first 4 episodes. Yeah, cool. Well, without further ado, let's go ahead and get started with episode 5 of The Paper Dungeon. Whee!
Welcome to Nico Muras, a world full of sprawling cities and dark secrets. In the wake of the trial, a divine act of righteous judgment, the world has been launched into an era of rebirth. But there are those who still lust for darkness and ruin. Follow us across the continent of Talira, from the deserts of Elon Ryan to the fields of Rivaluna. Deep in the Bloomrose Ocean and high above the Alisar Mountains, our story will see our adventurers through glory, fear, and fortune as they make their way through the Paper Dungeon.
All right. Sorry, Hannah just called me out while the intro was going. So, but we last left off. Our group had recently gotten together and come together really to find this kid named Samuel. This is someone that was connected to Lydia, who had been lost, and they had been on the search for him for quite some time now. They've been looking for the last couple of days, and they've gone through and traced the steps back to this shop that they believe the proprietor of is the one who took the kid. And then they've gone through and they kind of followed the paper trail that's been left to them that has led them up into the very highest levels of the city of Athala to what is known as the Sunrise Suite, the nicest inn basically that you can stay at here in Athala. It's only for the truly elite here in Athala, and only for those that can pay. Through a couple different means with Edward and with Havel, they were able to gain entrance into this. And after meeting Jericho Sedovic, actually, they have managed to come up with a deal to help them come in contact with Melusina, the proprietor of that shop that they believe took Samuel. After a very tense interaction between Jericho and Havel, he set up that meeting, and they're beginning to prepare for it. It's going to be on this following day. Where we left off, Havel was just heading back into Athala to go do something. So we'll start there. Havel, it is a little bit of an overcast night, just as it was throughout the rest of the day, and it has been this last day. It's still overcast with a slight breeze. Now it's getting much darker. There are lamps lit along the road that lead up to, I believe you're heading to the temples, to the home of the gods, that area of town.
Yes. In particular, if I could, I'm aiming for the Temple of Knowledge.
Perfect. Let me find my cheat sheet for that. You keep going wherever it went. Oh well. But as you're going, you come about 3 temples in, and you can see that this white marble temple, just like all the rest of them, is much larger than the rest, with a amber fire out in front of it in a large cauldron. You can see 3 symbols above them. One of them you recognize to be the symbol of Aprion, the god that you were looking for.
Before Havel enters,
Oh, excuse me. There's 2 temples in.
Oh, okay. Are the lights on? Like, is someone home?
You can see that there's a few dim lights inside of it, and then there's
Okay.
obviously the blazing cauldron. If you look inside the archway, you can see that the 4 cauldrons on either side of the pillars on the inside, just like the other temples, are not currently lit. There's just a few floating lamps along there.
Okay. Sure. I go to enter the
Okay.
Temple of Knowledge, the one with the symbol of Aprion.
Perfect. You go through and enter the House of the Ever-Knowing is the name of this temple.
Mhm.
And you go in. It is a beautiful white building with nice marble accents to everything. There's a little bit of gray accents, actually. The stonework in the bottom is smooth, polished white marble with kind of a grayed marble pillars. Nice bronze cauldrons in between each of the pillars. And as you approach, you can see there are 3 statues. The first is very, very large. It's probably about 7 feet in diameter, this pedestal, and it simply has what looks like an elephant sitting on its butt with its legs in front of it, currently with 2 paws, or its 2 whatever, resting on its knees, one holding a staff. The trunk actually like flipped back over, almost like a scarf, with these 2 tusks coming down. To his right, you can see Aprion, this much shorter statue, probably only about 7 feet tall, very well-built man with delicate robes and what looks like a well-designed, almost like doctor's mask, like plague doctor mask in front of it. And then on the other side, you can see this woman, fairly Eastern features, very typical to the features of people in East Bravania, where you come from. A little bit of Eastern features with a large straw hat or a rice hat going around her head, just holding a single lamp in front of her.
This is... So they're the statues. What's past the statues? I guess I'm gonna peer around and see what's further in the temple.
Yes, so past the large statue of the elephant, which you would know as Sericogni, the prime god of knowledge, there is one of those archways that leads back into a specific area dedicated to Sericogni, and then off to the right and the left, respectively, to each of the gods, there is another room, a small hallway that leads to another room, again with specific rooms for those specific gods.
Okay. Havel's going to. There aren't like any offering bowls in front of the statues, are there? Or
Not in
like
front of the statues,
not in front of the statues? Okay. Havel is going to just kind of look up to the statues and I'm going to be entirely honest. I don't see the appeal in all of you. Quite curious, actually, about what makes you all so great anyway. And he kind of walks past the statue of Aprion and runs his hand on the pedestal. I'm sorry. I am in your home. My father taught me better. And he's going to go into the prayer room, he assumes, for Aprion.
Yeah, you go down this hallway just to the right of the back wall and just follows this depictions of Aprion in different forms and different stages are painted along the walls. And as you enter the room, there's one single cauldron with a variety of different on this like square pedestal with a large variety of different offerings left beneath the cauldron on that pedestal. I say pedestal, it's really more of like a probably about a 5 foot by 5 foot platform that the cauldron's resting on. You can see flowers, you can see items, there's a sword there, you can see bowls with liquid in it, a variety of different objects here resting before this cauldron.
Havel is going to he's going to kneel before the cauldron. He's going to take off his pack, the small satchel to his side that he keeps smaller items in. And he is going to take out the gauntlet that we got from the witch's hut. And he's just gonna like look it over and go, Father, oh Father, I hope that you're doing well. It's been a long time. And he's going to put the gauntlet down.
Okay.
I hope that Aprion has been doing you well. I hope that the followers and the men and women that approach your temple treat you kindly. I hope the offerings are bountiful. And I hope that you're able to feed the children that take refuge under our columns. I've gotten better at chess. I've gotten much better at chess. Maybe next time I'm in town, I'll challenge you. Finally get a tick mark on my end. And taking 5 gold out, he's going to surround the gauntlet with the coins. Okay. Aprion, father of war and sight, knowledge and tactics. I've got myself in quite a predicament. I know I am likely undeserving. I grant this offering to you in hopes that perhaps we can be even. As my father once said, to spit at the sun is to see yourself wet in the face. And I've been feeling like I've been doing a whole lot of spitting to the sky now. I've been so long away from everything, and I find this group of wonderful people. But I don't know if I'm doing the right thing. I do not know if my father would be proud of anything that I've done. I haven't talked to him for so long. I'm not asking for forgiveness, I'm asking for two things. Aprion, if you really are listening to a fool like me, I think I want you to look over my father. He is a man of the cloth, devout to you. Last I left him, though, he wasn't necessarily in the best of graces. At least not with the surrounding people, mainly because of me. Guide him well to his health. And most importantly, right now, I don't need a blessing, but perhaps some insight if you could provide it. Rightfully so, for a child, I've got myself stuck into a very interesting predicament. I've given up quite a bit for a group of people that honestly I don't really know. I don't know what is it that is compelling me to help them so much. Perhaps it is you. Perhaps it is my own guilt. They're good people. Kind people. For the most part. People not necessarily fit to be stuck with a person like myself, but that being said, we are in the situation that we are in. And I'm about to put myself in front of people very capable of killing them all. I do not need more blood on my hands. Not like this. Grant me insight. For once in my life, please grant me some wisdom. No amount of books could prepare me for something like this. No amount of smooth talking or quick wit is going to prepare me for something like this. I need insight. I fear that I'm going to mess everything up and that we're gonna all be buried deep in the ground. But maybe that's what I deserve. No, of course not. Of course not. Any sinner can be brought back, right? I'm not asking for forgiveness, though, unfortunately. Havel's gonna, stand up and adjust his jacket. Mm-hmm. He's gonna look around. Right. You can keep the gauntlet. Admittedly, it's giving me a lot more trouble than it's worth. I don't know what a church would do with such an item, but perhaps I could sell it. it's not the one that's most useful to me. I think for now, we're square. Right? I hope. What am I doing? What am I doing? Say hi to Father for me. Yeah. Either one works. And he's going to leave.
Perfect. One quick retcon. I was mistaken about one of the gods. It is not Trosil who is in here. As you go back, you can see that there is a third statue of Habel. This very large, a little bit taller than Aprion, probably about 8 feet tall statue of a very well-built man with what looks like a porcelain mask under his hood, currently holding a large sword, probably about a broadsword, in front of him, with another set of arms made out of, instead of the gunmetal gray metal that these the rest of the statues are made out of, the second pair of arms, which are etched with delicate designs and symbols, are made out of a silver that kind of come out of the back of his shoulder blades, going up and just kind of reaching out like this. So that was my mistake. As you go to leave, the weather just worsens just a little bit, just enough that there's a slight sprinkle coming into the air.
It's nice.
A nice, well-smelling breeze of rain and grass comes through as you make your way back towards the Sunrise Suite. You go along the road, go past the gates onto that floating stone. You go about the 10 minutes that it takes to get up to the Sunrise Suite, and then re-enter, going back to your room. Is there anything else you'd like to do before you go to bed?
Did I get my leather armor?
Yes, when you return to your room, there is a stand with studded leather armor on it.
Yeah, no. Yeah, no, Havel's just gonna go to bed.
Oh.
Yeah.
You all find a night's rest. These are very, very fine establishments with beautifully well-made sheets and bedding. It's very, very comfortable. You guys thought that the 12 platinum cranes was like a comfortable stay compared to where you guys are at. You guys haven't even tasted luxury until you came here. The best night of sleep you've ever had, if it wasn't for the fact that you guys knew that you were going to be fighting a witch in the morning, at which point you all slept terribly. Renaya, the most of which, causing you to wake up first. What would you like to do?
All she can do is she's gonna quietly set up her ritual in like a tucked off corner.
Okay.
And she's just gonna try to do that as quiet as she can to not disturb Melora.
Oh, yeah. You go through and you begin burning your incense and set up your ritual, repeating your lines. After about an hour, you finish up, and nobody else is still awake.
Okay. So Renaya will just then settle back at her spot, and then she'll just kind of look over her symbol.
Okay. The rest of you all awaken.
Edward doesn't get out of bed.
Okay, perfect. Melora, we'll start with you since you're right here.
I rustle awake with Ginger. I'm assuming that she's in my lap or something.
Yeah. She's actually curled on the pillow next to yours.
Oh. I rustle myself awake and I take a breath in through my nose and I smell Renaya's incense, and I just kind of turn over and I see that she's already awake. I'm like, have I slept in too long?
Oh, no, I just wake up very early.
Oh, alrighty then. That's very lovely. What are you burning?
Oh, just some incense.
Alrighty. Are you hungry?
Yeah.
Well, why don't we go get something? And
Okay.
I start getting up, and I would like to put the flowers into my hair that I gathered yesterday, and put the dress on, and wear my new shoes.
Ooh, very nice. Yeah, you do all of that, looking lovely. You guys leave your room to go down. Yes, ma'am.
As we start exiting out the door, I'll tell Melora. I'll actually meet you downstairs. There's one more thing I gotta do.
Alrighty, no problem. And I invite Ginger to either go behind my hair or into my pocket, knowing what she wants to do.
She's gonna go behind your hair.
Right.
Yeah.
Alright. And I just make my way down.
What? Sweet. Renaya, what were you gonna do?
So, as Melora woke up, she takes it as permission to start waking. Like, everybody is okay to be woken up now. So she is actually going to go back to Havel's door and knock on Havel's door.
Havel, you've already been awake for a little bit. You didn't sleep very well for a number of different reasons, kind of tossing and turning. So you're currently just laying in bed, waiting for something to happen when there's a knock on your door.
Yes.
Havel, it's Renaya.
One moment. Gonna stretch out, roll over, put on my pants. Not a shirt, but I will slide on my jacket because I assume it's a little cold, being this high of elevation. And he's going to make his way to the door and open it.
She kind of straightens up a little and clears her throat a bit. Havel, I wanted to say thank you. You said a lot of things to me, and now I would like to say a few things back, if that's okay.
Would you like to come in, or is this a conversation that is necessary in the doorway? Why don't you come in?
Okay. I'm just stupid.
Havel closes the door, gestures towards the table in the corner, and he's going to sit on the bed facing the table, but he takes out a chair for Renaya for her to sit down.
She goes over and she starts to sit, but then decides to stay standing.
Right. What would you like to talk about? Oh, my apologies. Good morning, for one. And I was a bit firm with you. I apologize.
No, it's okay. Like I said, I want to thank you. I don't know what you've done, but I know it's cost you greatly, and I will do everything to repay you. But this is what I know about Samuel. He is a 10-year-old gnome boy, an orphan. He's very quiet, but I know there's a lot of thought in his little head. He's not used to attention or company, so it takes him a bit longer to warm up to people. He loves books and is especially fascinated by sea creatures. I only knew him for one day, and despite all that has happened, I seem to be finding myself in the right place at the right time. At the orphanage to go after the kids, and then going after the kids has brought me to all of you when I have needed you most. You've made a great sacrifice, so I ask that whatever this witch asks of me, you don't let anyone intervene. I don't know what she will ask for, but whatever it is, I will pay it. And I will not let your payment go to waste.
Renaya.
That's all I wanted to say. And she's actually going to start trying to walk towards the door.
Nope. Havel literally rolls himself over the bed at Mach 10 speed and cuts in front of Renaya. He's covering the door hold on, you are not, this is not okay. Go sit down. Go sit down.
I actually have to go be at
No,
breakfast
that's
with Malora. I
that's
told her
totally
I'd only
fine.
be a
No.
minute.
No, she can hold on for 2. Okay?
Okay.
You don't even have to sit down. Stay standing right there, but
Are you gonna yell at me again?
No, of course not. Oh my gosh. Oh. God spare me. I'm not going to yell at you again. I apologize for yelling at you. Okay. Yes. If you want to be in my debt, that's totally fine. But what I did because I wanted to. Okay? I see how much you care about this child. I see how much you all care about getting this child back. And well, admittedly, I think it's well worth it at this point. I am entirely okay with you taking responsibility and making a deal with this witch, but that being said, if this witch wants you in exchange, but I'm sorry, but that's not going to happen. If she wants a piece of you, that's not going to happen. We are leaving this place whole. Understood? It is going to go well. We'll figure out a way. I understand that you want to make amends, but what is the point of making amends if you're not going to live fully to see the repercussions of the amendments? You know, I was an orphan. In fact, you telling me that Samuel's an orphan makes us all the more better. You like books, eh?
Mm-hmm.
When I was a kid, as a child, way before I had memory, I was dropped off on the stair steps of a temple. My family didn't necessarily care for me. At least not enough to keep me around, it seems. So I was raised by the cloth. A temple of knowledge it was. I liked books too. They brought comfort to me. They made the world make sense. I'm sorry for yelling at you, but you do not have to put yourself in this kind of predicament. You can be in my debt, but you will repay it in another way. And I'll tell you what. You can repay it by living, Renaya. Can you promise me that? I understand what you want to do. I understand the stakes that are in play, and I understand what you're willing to do for this child, but you have to promise me that you will repay your debt by continuing onward and living.
I will continue as far as I'm supposed to go.
The world has no use for a dead person. Not another one, not a good one. You have a kind heart.
Havel, you said something to me, and I want you to remember it. You really don't know me.
I suppose you're right. Go on then. Melora's waiting for you. Hal opens the door and lets her out.
While that was all going on, the three of you, Cather, Edward, interact. Did you guys wake up or do anything?
Edward's awake, but he's staying in bed for now.
Cather?
I should unmute myself. I need to remember to do that. After I get up, and get ready and putting my armor on, I will attempt to go over, and Drew knows this isn't gonna work, but I will go over and knock on Melora's door.
You go over and knock, at which point you don't hear anything.
Yep. Dang it. Well, so much for that idea. All right. Okay. I will. I guess I might as well. I'll go downstairs.
Okay, you guys don't have to go downstairs. You're on the first floor.
Oh,
with the
perfect.
with the
Wonderful.
dining hall
I'll
and stuff like
go
that. So you
to where the food is.
We keep forgetting that detail.
Most of the time, it's the tavern on the first floor and the
Right.
inn on the second.
Right.
Yes, exactly. You go into the dining room, Drew, and the first thing you notice is that Melora is A, by herself, and B, kind of far away. Further more than 60 feet.
Drew noticed that as well.
So that's an interesting detail. But you go in, and Melora is currently sitting by herself with Ginger on one of the chairs next to her, not on the table, but on the chair next to her, and you can tell that she's like feeding Ginger and talking to her.
Yep. Is there like a morning tea at all or something?
Yes,
Morning something?
Along the bar, you can see first you can see Jericho is behind the bar, behind the stove, apparently cooking up a number of different things. When he sees you, he goes, good morning, Cather, I believe it was.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning to you. You have access to all of the bar, whatever you would like. And you can see that there's eggs and bacon and toast and jam and like omelets and fruit and vegetables and literally everything. There's like cooked salmon and there's a couple different meats. You have hash browns. You have every breakfast food imaginable. The best looking thing there is the strawberry crepes. They look delicate, amazing.
If I can, I'll just get myself like a cup of tea.
Okay.
Just like some sort of tea. He doesn't really care.
There is a little, almost like a continental breakfast. There's a little like drink cart that has mimosas, some other alcohols, fresh milk, water, tea, and coffee.
Okay, yeah, I'll just take some tea and thank you. I'll walk over to the table that Melora's at.
Okay.
Good morning, Melora. That makes sense. Don't worry. I know. You know, actually, I wanted to talk to you, and you weren't.
Oh, you want to talk to me now? That's interesting.
Yes. I wanted to apologize. When I came last night, it was not. I wanted to talk to you. I did. And
You could have fooled me yesterday, you know.
I'm sure I could have. But the thing is, look, Melora, I never meant to be rude or to disrespect you, all right? And it was never my intention to turn my back to you, all right? The reason that I didn't want to talk was not because I didn't want to talk to you and I didn't want to rely on you as a friend. It was because I felt there had already been plenty of people talking yesterday. There had already been plenty of things happening.
Right, you said that.
Tarak revealed the fact that we are in probably twice, if not 3 times as much danger as we already were. With working with possibly up to 2 other orcs.
So you didn't want to talk to someone about learning that information? No. It was too much talking yesterday. Too much talking with me yesterday. I understand. Well, let me just tell you, you have no obligation to speak to me, Cather. Absolutely none. So, if you didn't want to, then just stay within the feet necessary to, and that's just fine.
If that's what you want, I will
It's
abide
not what
by
I
it.
want. It is not what I want. But I'm just letting you know that you didn't have to speak to me if you clearly don't want to.
Laura, it's not that I didn't want to. I wanted to. I did. But I made a choice a long time ago that I would not be a burden on people. I made that choice, my choice. And let me finish. I was not going to add to that list of things for people to think about and to be concerned about, because we are possibly getting ourselves into a death trap today. And I was not going to add to our concern. I was going to keep focused on that. Samuel is missing. We need to find this kid before something happens to him, and I was not going to bother you with my issues. Not yet.
I see I've upset you. Well, let me make it clear to you how I felt last night. So, you didn't want to be a burden to me, that's just fine. But you made me feel like a burden, Cather. You are the first person in years that I have opened up to and said things about myself. So, imagine my surprise. After a day of telling you things about me, of feeling like we're closer. You made a joke about my charm and personality, that's all just fine, but maybe part of me thought you actually liked it. And then, fast forward, we've learned this haunting information that maybe you want to confide in a new friend about how you feel. But no, instead, when she asks if you'd like to talk to her about anything, no, there's been enough talking for today. You've had enough of her for today. So, I understand how you feel. You didn't want to burden me, all right, that's just fine. But didn't make me feel like a burden in the process.
I understand. And I'm sorry. I really am. And I know my words were not the best, and I understand that I chose them poorly. And I will live by that. And I'm sorry. I truly am. I truly, deeply am. And I will go over and sit down on the other side of the table and just drink my tea.
So Tarak has been at the bottom of the stairs for the past like 2 minutes.
As soon as you got to the bottom of the stairs, you saw Jericho go around, or not the stairs, but the end of the hallway. Jericho left the bar and is currently just hanging out with you, not being in the dining area, being anywhere but.
Like we both are just like right at the corner, and I've just stopped. I'm like,
so do they do this often?
I think this is more of a recent thing.
How long have they been together?
I can only assume like years. Like
seems like it.
I know it's crazy. This doesn't happen like where I'm from. Like this whole relation, it's just not there.
That is quite fascinating. Where are you from?
Well, Red Wastes.
The Red Sky
Yeah,
place.
yeah.
Very nice. How, if you may, I don't mean to pry, and I'm not one to judge, but how did you get past the Alisar Mountains?
Anyway, what's with the food?
I
I see that it appears to be some form of strange pink pancake.
Yes, this is called a crepe with strawberries in it. It is very nice. It's made mostly of sugar. It's great. Along with a variety of other items at the bar. Anything that you'd like. And you can see that he's gone over to the bar and just kind of like guided you over, but it's like talking in a hushed whisper.
This is all going on in the background. Just like so yeah, I just grab a bunch of random stuff. This is the most that Track has maybe eaten ever. Nice. So yeah, he just loads up a platter. I sit I totally sit awkwardly between them.
Yeah. So at each of these tables, there's 6 seats. Melora is on one side with a seat between her and Cather, and you just go and sit down.
Oh, just right between them.
And you're just a little bit too big for these seats. You kind of like squish in on them just a little bit.
So, crepes. Crazy, right? Wow.
Right.
Good morning, Tarek.
At this point, Renaya will be on her way downstairs as well.
Down the hall.
Ah, Renaya,
Down
it's
the hall.
great to see ya.
At this point,
I
Wow.
I will.
I shoot her a look. That girls know.
I am going to, at this point, stand up and get myself some food.
Okay.
Try the crepes.
Havel.
I'm not going to get any crepes, I'm sorry.
Renaya will grab herself a little something and then sit next to Melora, but kind of scoot a little closer.
Uh-huh.
Havel's going to, now dressed, walk into the doorway, see, like, do a head count, notice that Edward's not there, and immediately turn around and be like,
This guy.
Okay. You go get Edward.
I'm gonna go get Edward. I go, Edward,
Yes.
might I come in, or are you not decent?
You can come in.
Okay. I open the door.
He's not decent.
He's not decent. That's fine.
I'm in bed.
So
Is it morning already?
who'd have thought? Yes, it is actually, believe it or not. We're all getting food.
Could we not wait just a bit? I barely slept last night.
I don't think any of us
Fairly
did,
weak.
buddy.
Today's gonna be so crazy.
Hey, and he's gonna like gingerly sit down on the corner of the bed and like he like lifts his hand to go place it on like his leg or ankle or something, and then like pats it and then like decides against it. It's like, so yeah, listen, I know you're afraid. Most
Who
people
said
would.
that? Was it Melora?
No, I can see it in your eyes, though, and admittedly, you don't seem like the type to do things like this. So,
I've never faced a witch and an orc for sure. I mean, it'd be nice to have a little bit more sleep if, we're going to go against such crazy foes. But I suppose if everybody's ready to go, I could get dressed and make it down.
do you believe that more sleep would prepare you for this?
I don't know if I can sleep, but yes, if I could sleep, then yes. I'm kind of starting to hate this bed anyways.
No, okay. I was gonna say I could probably arrange that, but
What's that supposed
no.
to mean? Do you have a
don't-
spell or something?
no, not quite. I'm not a magic type, at least not like that. Yeah.
Now, could you leave? I need to get dressed.
But yes, of course, sir. And he says, and he like takes a deep bow and like flips his jacket back and goes, and it's like, I will see you in the dining hall. And like he like closes the door and he's like, fucking asshole, I swear to God.
So how will you go join everyone for breakfast?
Yep. Havel's gonna
Nice.
go join them for breakfast.
There is a palpable tension in the air, and it's not from the witch.
I'm just nervously talking about things.
Yeah.
Just so like
Great
there
time.
I was
Great time.
running, and then like what? This wow. And cheese. Where did it come from? I was talking earlier about this, and it just goes on and on. And on.
Renaya is trying to like subtly like look at Cather and get a read on what happened.
Roll an insight check, Renaya.
In the meanwhile, Havel will proceed to go get a bagel. He's gonna split it in half and he's gonna put cream cheese on it.
Nice.
and then like get a side of strawberries, you know, glass
Ooh,
of
very nice.
water.
Yeah, do it. Where'd you get on your insight check for now?
17.
Okay. I'll be right back.
Do you need me to roll, do you need me to roll something, Mr. DM? I mean, I don't know.
What's your passive?
screw
What's
you.
your passive deception?
This is called woman's intuition. Drew. It doesn't involve man.
It doesn't involve me. So Havel,
I'm so excited to see Havel now.
Yeah.
Havel,
Yeah. Yes.
what time?
Yes, Cathar.
What time is our meeting?
Well, I do believe that we meet at noon.
At noon.
So yes.
Right.
Sun's high above the sky.
And where are we meeting?
Well, for our friend here with a bow, gestures over to Melora. And he says as he pulls out a chair and sits down, I have prepared a meeting at a theater. So there'll be plenty of room for you to get a vantage point and stay hidden. You are muted right now, though, Melora. I think a silent spell has been cast on you.
Brilliant.
All right.
Wonderful. Yes, the meeting will be taking place on center stage. So, if you would like, once we're done with breakfast, we can get there a bit early and stake out. Perhaps
That would be great.
more prepared.
I think that would be wise.
Okay.
And do we have a solid idea as to what the heck we're gonna say?
Well, I do believe that our lady in cloth has something to say, and he looks over at Renaya.
Sorry, what?
Just give you an insight check.
We were promptly asked what we were gonna say, and I gestured towards you, saying, "I believe that you have something to say to the lady."
I kind of, yes.
If you would like, I could lead, and you could follow up.
Sure.
You want to lead? Okay.
I mean, I'll be honest, I don't really know what her reaction to seeing me is going to be like. I know she needs to see me for the...
I think that it might be a good idea to come up with some sort of signal for me to know that you're in trouble, because it may be very hard for me to hear from where I'll be.
What about this? And she like waves her hands like a little bird.
That would be very clear to me. However, it could be clear to her as well.
Also,
Okay.
what if I in sentence somehow manage to bring in a phrase like Tower of Pisa or
No, that's
avalanche.
If I could hear you, I have a feeling that it may be kind of hard. So
I'm-
perhaps it could be you spill your drink or you drop your knife or something.
I am very good at stage projection, but I like the way you think.
I'm also a little. I don't have any ideas for the signal. Most orc war tactics consist of very, very broad motions. They aren't hard to miss. For example, most of our signals would involve stabbing the opponent. That would be when to initiate the fight.
Right.
But I don't know exactly. I feel like I'm not good at hiding, like at all. But the witch has seen me, and so is that fine? And also, if there's an orc there, is that? I don't know how. I mean, it could be good to see the reaction of like.
I'm sure
What?
it'll be fine.
Do I just like go full cowl and like pull the hood down real low and just stand semi-menacingly behind you, or is there something better I can do?
I think that would be a good way to start, and if the situation calls for it, you could reveal yourself.
I would love to do so.
So, I mean, upon approaching this woman, we do have to have at least some idea of what we're going to be discussing.
Right.
I believe that we should start out with maybe if we mention how the reason why we're gathering, I mean, is because she knows of someone that we need. And let's just be honest. I mean, honor among thieves. Well, like she has honor.
As soon as she sees me, she'll know. She'll know I am there.
Right then. The talking will be minimal. I think, I think some of the best conversations are had when played by ear. So, perhaps overthinking it too much might just complicate it on our end. Especially when it goes south.
Right.
If I yell showtime though, Melora, shoot her in the kneecap.
In the knee?
Yes.
All right.
It is at this point that Edward walks through the opening into the little dining area, yawning with bags under his eyes, and he's stretching and he goes, "Oh, good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm very tired, but I've given it thought, and if we're going to do this today, then I suppose we should all discuss a plan."
Oh, Edward.
So
Honestly,
when are we
I
going
think
to
we've
do
got
that?
it. Let's just play it by ear.
We're just going to go in. That's
Yep, no plan.
Do we
you.
now?
That's so unintelligent, Tarak. We
Havel,
really ought to have a plan. We should discuss this.
Havel,
Yes.
if I may, perhaps it's not a bad idea for some of us to be hidden, because if we walk into a room, they're going to be very suspicious very quickly when there's at least 5 of us that they can see, all armed. They're going to be suspecting something.
Do you want to hide in the seating?
I can certainly try.
I would just like to remind you that there is a certain amount of feet that you can be away from me, and I'll be at a high vantage point.
I don't know.
Oh, wait, actually. Is there a... Most theaters have a kind of a, I don't know what it's called, I'm not a...
Alcove?
Alcove, yes, for musicians and the like.
Aye.
Why don't...
Musician, a pit.
Yes.
Yes, it's called a pit. Yes, an
I-
extra pit. Yes.
I apologize. I'm not well versed apparently. Why don't you hide in the pit underneath the stage? You'll be able to hear us well. And Melora, since you're distanced, you could be in one of the higher vantage points, you know, the upper seatings.
Do we know this theater?
No, but we are going to go there a bit early. Try to get a good idea of it.
Hey,
That's a good idea.
Edward.
Yes, Renaya. Yes.
I know you have some interactions with this woman, but I ask that maybe you do not engage for a little while.
So you'd like me to hide? Is that what you're saying?
I mean, you can hide if you want. I just ask that you save whatever you would like to say to her for
Okay,
the
that's
end.
fair. Look,
Perhaps
I
just
know.
save the flirting with
Look,
the
I'm
witch
not-
for the end of the conversation.
I'm not stupid, okay? I know that she's in cahoots with this orc, and there's some weird disease going around. That, to me, that's kind of a red flag.
I'm just saying, if there are things you want to say, which finding out that a woman that you have had some
Okay, yes.
more romantic.
But if she
thoughts
says something to
towards-
me, I can't stop that.
No,
I would
let's
also like
not
to say,
do that.
on the other hand, my name is kind of a lot of leverage around here.
Right. So
So
what?
if indeed you can use that in any sort of, I don't know, deal. Fellows make a lot of deals, and I have money. And so if we just want to throw that name out there, say, you know, it might be rather convincing. I would also like to state I've been practicing for a while now, and I think my illusion is getting a little better. So if you need me to be somebody else, okay.
I think actually that the three that should present themselves should be me, Cather, and Renaya.
Oh, so I'm not good enough.
Yes,
Is that what you're saying?
that's exactly what I'm saying, Edward.
And,
Yes.
and why am I not good enough? Is it
No.
the,
Are good enough.
Okay.
is
Edward,
it the good looks? Is it the charisma? Is it the smooth speech?
Oh,
Which one of
goodness.
those isn't good enough to make a deal?
How much time do we have until this meeting starts?
Giuseppe, Jericho, that's your name, Jericho.
Jericho comes around. Yes.
How many hours do we have till noon?
It is currently 9 o'clock.
We have plenty of time. Thank you very much. Also, the bagels.
Yes.
These are fantastic. I don't know who does your baking, but please send them my regards. These are amazing.
Do they have cream
humbly
cheese?
accept your compliments.
They do, and it's very good.
Good. Hey, Jericho.
Yes.
I'd like a bagel with cream cheese on it, please, as
Right
quickly
away.
as you can. A fresh one, if you can.
I can do that.
Thank
I
you.
will also say that our accomplice who will be helping you follow this woman will meet us at the theater.
Wonderful.
I will go grab that bagel.
As I was saying, so I think that me, Cather, and Renaya should be the ones presenting themselves. And Edward, you want to know why I want you in the pit?
It's because you don't like me. I know, Havel.
No. That is in fact the opposite. If I didn't like you, I wouldn't have gotten you out of bed.
Oh, so you're putting me in the seat because you like me then?
I'm
Well,
putting you.
I'm flattered.
Edward, think about it this way. Perhaps Havel wants you to hide because you'll be of more use to him as a surprise.
Hey, Melora, do you want to know a secret?
No.
Well, I'm gonna tell you anyways. I secretly don't want to talk to an orc and a witch. I
Just
secretly
puts her head down.
I want to hide. I'm
Then that's
messing a little
perfectly
bit.
all right.
Yes, I'll hide. I'm so okay with that. You guys do the talking.
Okay.
I'll only show up if I need to.
Okay. Right. Well, I'm glad that we got that figured out. Now, if it's all the same to you, I'm going to take a moment and actually eat my food because I haven't got any sleep. And last night was a bit of a rough one for me. So please continue. I will just, and Havel's going to like take the bagel and just like just inhale the thing. Like
Jericho will also come back with a couple more bagels, probably about a dozen of bagels, and a big old dish of cream cheese and set them down on your table.
Oh, delightful. Oh, delightful. If any of you would like one, we have extras. And I make myself a cream cheese bagel and start lightly munching on it.
I'll take one of the plain ones and just start periodically tearing a little piece off and sneaking it under the table.
Jericho.
Yes.
Sorry, DM, did you have something to say? I apologize. I just realized.
Nope.
Okay. Jericho. Quick question. How opposed would you be if I had a pet present?
I will be honest. I figured the orc was your pet.
No, but aside
Nice
aside from the orc,
If there's something worse than an orc, no
Are it-
offense,
None taken.
then
I mean, I'm a little offended.
I apologize.
It's
I'm
actually
not
quite
dead.
common.
Doesn't make it right.
like
And he says, "I do not care." And then he kind of looks at Melora, gives her a wink, and then walks away.
and Havel just kind of looks over and goes, "Well, that clears things up. I suppose that she should be able to enjoy breakfast like the rest of us, don't you?"
Alrighty. I take my arm down to give her a place to climb up.
Okay, she crawls up your arm.
And I place her on the table next to me, and I just I tear it up into little separate pieces to make it easier for her to eat, and I just place them in front of her in a little pile.
Oh, an animal on the eating table? What are you doing?
Edward, I will skewer you.
Okay, people eat off of that.
Edward.
Ginger runs on the ground. That's like
Ginger
that's like eating
stays
off
in
of
my
the ground.
pocket for most of the time. I think she deserves a little breakfast out in the open.
And do you think your pocket is cleaner than the ground?
Ginger will take one piece of bread and shove it in her mouth, and then grab another piece of bread, and then she's gonna scamper over to Cather and offer it up to Cather.
I will just like very gently take the little nibble. I will give a slight bow to Ginger before I put it in my mouth.
And then she hops down in your lap, Cather, and then up onto your shoulder.
I'll just kind of I'll just scooch her behind the ear.
Havel's
And,
going to take
yeah.
a strawberry. He's going to take a little piece of a strawberry, like one of the cut up ones, and he's
Yeah.
going to like hold it out. Be like, come here. Come here.
Ginger immediately leaps from your shoulder and
Ginger.
dashes across the table to munch on this strawberry.
Because
And be
it's like,
careful
"Hi."
with that. Didn't give her too much sugar; she'll get a little crazy.
Right, this would be the only one. And like Havel just starts like petting her lightly.
Yeah. Yes, true.
Mr. DM, just because the thought occurred to both me and Cather just now, how far away are our rooms?
Are your rooms from where?
From here.
Your rooms are probably, let's see, the dining room is about 60 feet in diameter if you're halfway through 30 feet. Probably 60 to 100 feet away, depending on which one.
Okay. That's neat.
Hmm.
Might be back to 120 feet then. That's gonna
Oh.
Jericho.
Oh god.
Yes.
Ding,
At which point Jericho comes bustling back over. You can see that he's holding a pot right now as he was in or a pan with like cooking eggs on it. Yes.
Oh, multitasking, impressive. I wish
try.
Charles would have done more of that. Do you have any of insert fantasy equivalent of hot chocolate here?
Do I have hot chocolate?
The fantasy.
Do you have
equivalent is
any
just hot chocolate.
hot cocoa? Hot cocoa.
Hot cacao?
Cacao beans are not currently in season, if I remember, but I can check. We'll see if we have any in the back.
That would be wonderful. If you don't have any, just bring back some. I'll take some chai tea. Two parts milk, 1 part water, and add 2 tablespoons of sugar, and then I'll be happy. Can you do that for me, Jericho?
Oh, we
Of course,
wouldn't
my
want
master.
you not to be
Thank
happy now.
Renaya is now squinting at Jericho anytime Jericho comes out.
So what are we thinking on
Anyway.
I don't know. Perhaps 10:30, 11?
Well,
Give us
we-
an hour time.
We wouldn't want to deny His Majesty his chai tea, would we?
Correct.
Now, I'm quite tired. That chai tea
Right.
has caffeine in it, which will help me wake up for the fight. So if you want me to, well, if there is a fight. Now, if you want me to be at my best behavior and best ability, then you better let me have my caffeine.
I'm going to
So
let you
I'm-
have it, but
I'm
I'm
doing
going to
this for
tease you
you.
for it, and that's alrighty then. Well, you didn't need to do anything for me. Number one, number two, I'd be just fine leaving you here. But since we're all going to be together, I suppose I'll let you have your tea.
I hate to interrupt. It seems like you're kind of in the middle of something, but just realized we're fighting a witch. Me, Renaya, and Edward are all good. I'm gonna need all your blood. Well, not all of your blood, but I'm going to need blood from all of you.
I hold out my finger.
Oh, thank goodness, no hassle. Oh, I'm
Havel.
glad to find someone who knows what's happening.
Do you need me to pick it myself? Or...
Oh, yes.
Alright.
Thank. Oh, this is great.
Havel flashes his fang and writes down on his thumb. Just holds it out.
I do need some paper. If anyone got paper?
I take out.
Do we have napkins?
Oh, napkins. That would work.
Alright,
That's fine.
On my napkin.
Reusable napkin.
Now, Tarak, will you need any from Ginger?
If the witch wants to track a squirrel, I'm not gonna stop her. We've got an hour. I'll be back.
Havel, while that's going on, Havel actually cast Mage Hand under the table.
Okay, what do you do with that hand?
No. Okay. 1, ew. 2, Havel into Havel's going to take oh god, I didn't think the sentence through, did I?
No, just go.
I was going to take some of the cream cheese, put it under the table, and pass it to his mage hand.
Okay.
He's now going to sneakily take the mage hand, and he's going to smear Edward's shirt.
So let me just get this straight. You're gonna take your cream.
I'm gonna take my cream, put it on my hand,
and then drag it across Edward's shirt.
You can't cream all over Edward's shirt.
I'm gonna cream all
over
over
Edward's shirt.
All right.
So
Yeah, you do
does
that.
Edward notice?
Oh yeah, there's cream cheese on your shirt now.
He jumps up, throwing the chair back from behind him, and says, "Oh, who did this? Who caught?"
At this point, Jericho was just about to set down tea in front of you, so he jumped back and hit the tea, and he now spills the chai tea all over your backside too.
That's so hot.
At which point he goes and
where you're going.
he goes
Pointing
and
at
grabs a cold
Jericho.
towel.
Who did this? I'm gonna have to go and wash and clean, and now I have tea. And chai tea is the dark kind.
Edward, why, didn't your parents teach you how to eat at a table? You got cream cheese all over yourself, and now you got tea coating yourself. Go clean yourself up.
This was not my fault.
Are you sure about that?
Something came up from under the table and smeared it on me.
I go over to Edward. It's all right, and I will attempt to usher him away.
Yeah, you begin to usher him away.
Oh, I'm so sad.
Just as you guys are getting to the hallway, Jericho comes from a back room with a fresh linen shirt and says, "Here, take this."
Oh, thank the gods.
Do they get out of earshot?
Yeah, 100%.
They get out of earshot.
Wait, as he's walking away, you hear Edward saying things like, "Well, first I couldn't sleep well, and now I have cream cheese all over my shirt, and we're going to face a witch. This is the worst day ever." Just stuff like that as he fades away.
As they go down the hall, Havel immediately turns to Melora and goes, "Now what happened between you and Cather?"
Didn't know what you mean.
Yeah, right. There was a tension as soon as I walked into the room, and you guys were the first here. So...
Tarak is also like
this is why I left.
Oh, trust me. If you didn't walk away with Edward, I had a different plan altogether for you.
Oh, I'm sure you did.
Now, I don't care what happens between you. But if it impedes your performance today...
It will not.
The witch will be the last thing you have to worry about.
Oh.
I'm very good with my bow. I've had years to practice ignoring my emotions.
Wonderful. Do not shoot Cather, alright? Just don't shoot them.
I
Try to
mean,
miss. Well, you can shoot them once by accident, but
right.
you only get one.
Just
Understood?
one.
Just one.
Just one.
Pretend the witch is Cather and everything will be good. Awesome. So, do you guys do anything the next hour and a half or so before Tarak comes back?
Edward changes and wipes off the cream cheese off of his family's special vest. No big deal. He's just sad.
As he walks back in, Havel's just like, he has his feet like half propped up onto the table and is like rocking back and forth on the chair kind of precariously and just like taking a bite out of the bagel with cream cheese on it, just like staring Edward down.
Hey, oh, should I ask Havel odd or even? No, I'll ask myself odd or even.
Even.
Okay, so Edward would like to attempt to kick out one of the legs of the chair he's leaning back on. As
How are you going to do that?
Literally walking past and then just sweeping the chair leg with his leg.
Okay,
That's what it's gonna
roll an athletics check.
What a catch. Oh god, please do terribly. This would be so funny.
Stubs his toe.
It's about a 13.
Okay. Yeah, you have to go in, and as you're passing, Havel, would you make a dexterity saving throw for me?
Okay, that's fine. Let's see. Which one of the members of Critical Role will help me now? Let's go with No Mercy Percy. Why not? He's the first one I picked up.
Wrong choice.
Oh, you're right.
Should have gone with the rogue.
I couldn't find the rogue. His hide check was really high.
Rogue.
Yeah,
Yeah, the rogue
successful
rolled high in
rogue.
his stealth.
Just a dexterity save.
Yeah.
15. I rolled really low.
Okay. Yeah. Edward, you go through and you put your foot at the base of one of the back of the legs and just grab his shoulder and just tip him back just a little further. At which point, Havel, you and as you fall, you roll back and then just stand up perfectly and like fix your vest before picking up your chair and just sitting back down.
Yeah.
Well, as soon as he fell, Edward just glares at him and says, "I saw the way you were looking at me. It's not funny, you know. I only have one of these."
I apologize, my dear sir. And he bows even deeper. Would you like me to get you more tea? Here, one moment. And he like,
You guys, today is not the day to start picking fights.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Havel goes to get more tea.
By the way,
Okay.
as a note, Catherine never came back. Just putting that out there.
Okay,
Catherine's
Edward.
dead.
Yeah,
Edward
Catherine's
grabs-
dead. Edward killed Catherine.
Edward grabs some tea and sits with his back facing the party at a different table.
Oof. Oof. That's a
Renaya's
mood.
going to get up, turn
Okay.
to Melora.
Uh-huh.
I'm trusting you to try to keep everybody from not hating each other anymore, okay? Okay, and then she's gonna actually hurry off and try and find Cather.
And that was your
Alright.
first mistake.
Yeah.
you
Oh,
go
yeah.
find Cather.
I'm just.
Um,
Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
No.
Okay. Renaya, you go find Cather.
Yes, I'm guessing he's in his room.
See.
Okay. Knock, knock, knock.
It's open.
She like cracks it open and like just kind of squeezes her mouth through it. Hey, are you okay?
I'm all right. Don't worry about me. I'm just concerned. That's all. Actually, can I, Renaya?
Yeah.
You can come in. It's all right.
Okay. And then open the door.
How are you doing? Like, aside from obviously the whole panic of what's happening today, but you know, we haven't really spoken to each other at all.
No. I mean, you asked about Edward, but that was a while ago.
And that was like a side conversation while we were walking down the street too. Like that wasn't
Yeah.
even really a conversation.
No. You know, I mean, I've been better, but
Same.
I've also been a lot worse, so I guess it's a happy middle.
Yeah, that's probably about right. I don't know what to do about Miller.
I think you just need to give her a little bit of time.
That's probably right. Unfortunately, that's kind of the part I hate.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean avoiding her. Like, don't get the wrong message
Oh,
there.
no,
Like, avoiding
no.
her's gonna make it
Don't-
way worse, and then you're not gonna know what to do at all, and then we're just
Don't
gonna be
worry.
even more of a mess with each other.
Yes,
and I thought we were just starting to become friends, you know.
Yes, don't worry. Don't worry. I know. Although, aside from that, it is actually nice. I meant to say the other day, actually, when we found you at the temple, it is nice to have you around, actually, I'd say. Considering the fact that as far as I know, really, we are the only two who have a high accommodation for faith.
And she pulls out her symbol. I don't really know what this means. You showed me yours, and I mean, it's cool looking, but like, I don't know.
Right. Well, and I'll pull mine out. I kind of take it off and show her a little closer. And I never described mine to the group, so I'll do it now.
Ooh.
But Lydia, you see, or Renaya sees, what looks like a poorly made, handmade, wood carven symbol of what looks like a skull that is half covered in a mask with elven features, and except it's broken, jagged across the face, and with the part that is exposed, there's actually what looks like some sort of flower growing out of it.
DM, do I recognize this?
Roll a religion check.
Natural 20.
Man, she's good.
You don't necessarily recognize the symbol as a whole, but after passing by the temple and beginning to pay a little bit more attention to Cather and his roles, you recognize that each of these parts of the symbol are parts of a different god of the death domain. So as a whole, they kind of represent the whole trinity of death.
Anyway, but I personally made my symbol. Before that, actually, my sister made it for me before I left home, but that got burnt. But anyway, I made this to, I mean, to be honest, Renaya, I don't really know how it works. I just know that for me, it represents what I believe, and my beliefs, and my belief in fate and destiny and the power it holds. And I'd imagine for you, it would mean something very similar, and which represents your connection to the person who cares about you, or the god who cares about you. I don't really know anything about malice. The human pantheon is not one I'm accustomed to.
So it just represents who you follow?
Yes, and my connection to them.
So who do you follow?
I know them as the widow, the gravedigger, and the thief. And each part of my holy symbol represents that. They are known to others as the goddess Adaria, the god Orgol, and the god Azulak.
Yeah.
You kind of know all of those. Adaria more so than any of the rest of them. She's she's the prime goddess of death, and she's one of the twins. Her and her sister, Saradal, are the two like big gods. And so you would recognize Adaria more so than most. Everyone else you've like kind of heard of, but yeah, that's basically what you know.
I'm gonna message you real quick. Hold on. One moment, please. Nothing's going on. Everything's fine. It's totally cool.
Whisper.
You could
Everything's
try
great.
sending private Zoom messages. You could try doing that.
Whisper.
I don't know how to do that.
Good times.
Yeah.
Interrupt
So
our
in the
weekly
meanwhile,
program.
is there
Oh, not a whole lot.
how
I
you,
go
how you doing,
out.
Tarak? Yeah.
I rip up the blood and find the places where they would get most likely to get carried far away and scattered throughout the city. I kind of spread them all around. I've got a little bit of time left, so I realized that I haven't been keeping up to date on like my kind of like daily rituals and stuff. So I go, I find a little secluded, like, I don't know, like bench where no one walks around, or if I can't find one of those, just an alley. I sit down, open my bag, I pull out my only pieces of paper that I own, and I just go over my flashcards, just the basic common alphabet for a little bit, put them back in the bag, close my sack, and then I just think to myself, well, guess I should probably get headed back.
Perfect. Trek, you start heading back to the Sunrise Suite, which one will cut back to our heroes.
Okay, repeat that last thing you said for me.
Me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Shoot, what was the last thing I said?
You told her which gods you worship.
Oh, right.
All of that.
Right. And, well, that's about all, really. I mean, I don't know much about them, to be honest. And I was...
No, tell me who they are again.
Oh, right, sorry. Adaria, Oragol, and Ozurla.
Okay, yeah, that's what I thought you said. It's getting... I came up because it's getting pretty close to time to go,
Right.
so we should probably get going now. And she's just gonna head straight to the door.
Are you... Alright.
I'm fine, okay, keep calm. Come on, we gotta go.
And she's out the door.
Okay. Just take my holy symbol, put it back on, and tuck it beneath my armor again, and follow her.
Yeah. You guys reemerge. At this point, Tarak is just about to get, just re-enters the Sunrise Suite. You all converge at the dinner table, the dinner table.
Right.
Well, nothing much. Your blood's scattered throughout the city. Well, scattered enough. It'll take a little bit for it to really get around. But, yeah, you can say a thing.
Oh, I was just going to say, now that we're all finally back, we should probably get going. Establish ourselves into the theater.
Sounds great.
Break.
Yeah, team.
Jericho comes from a side room. You can see he is no longer dressed in his typical very nice attire of the button shirt and all that, but is in a little bit more of common traveling clothes with a leather long coat on. At which point he sees all you here and goes, "Oh, they're all ready to go. Fantastic. Shall we depart? Are we all ready?"
Yes. Oh.
Yeah, Malor.
I just wanted to say that before we leave, I end up changing out of the nice looking shoes for the dress. I keep the dress on, I still want to wear it, but I'm going to put on my new hunting boots so that I have the dress, I am looking very nicely, but the shoes are more for effectiveness.
Okay, perfect.
As we leave the suite, if we're doing that, yeah, as we're heading towards the door, Edward sarcastically remarks, "Oh, everybody watch out for cream cheese on the way out. It seems like cream cheese is on the loose."
And
No one
do
wants to
that?
get cream cheese
Yes,
anywhere.
yes. Edward, watch out. I hear it's attracted to rich people.
Right.
Well,
Oh, then you are all probably pretty safe then. And he keeps walking.
I am pretty
Jericho
poor.
leads the way out the door through the arch, and then turns to all of you and says, "Would anyone like to ride with me?"
I will ride with Jericho.
Fantastic. I was hoping the fellas would. Come. He steps onto the platform, and you guys begin descending.
Hey, DM.
Yes.
Do I notice that Renaya's giving the stink eye to to our mans?
What is your passive perception?
My passive perception?
No.
Could it not be insight?
It would be perception.
Oh,
See,
boy.
Perception to see if you notice. Insight to see if you know why.
My passive perception is 16.
You
My
would probably
passive
notice it.
perception is utter trash.
You don't notice that.
All right. Well, I feel like me and Renaya so far have kind of developed a sort of communication with our eyes and our eyebrows. So I'm going to kind of look at her and like lift my eyebrow in the way where it's kind of like, I understand, like a...
Okay.
Renai will give a little nod.
Who is next on the platforms?
I'll grab Havel's arm and walk over.
Oh god.
Okay. You guys step onto the platform and begin heading down.
Was there a
Who's
reason
next?
why? Was there a reason
I'll
why you
go.
grabbed me?
I'll go next because,
Okay.
and I'll ask Renaya to go with me.
Fantastic.
Renai steps on.
I'm glad that you guys went next because you're just at the very verge of 120 feet.
Yep.
I know.
I figured.
So
it would
there
be.
is a good amount of pain. Not enough to be like serene or hot or anything like that, but it's a nagging ache that hurts and is not fun.
I swear, Cather, if you ruin my dress.
And then Tarak, you.
Well, I guess I'll just go down alone
Oh.
by myself again.
Awesome. Does anyone want to say anything while they're on their stairs? You got about 10 minutes.
Yeah.
I hate him. I hate that man. I hate that man so much.
No, I know. Do you want to have a conversation with him about what he said?
No.
All right. Do you want me to say something for you?
No.
All right. All right. That's just fine. Rich people think about the world differently than we do, and it does not excuse a thing, but perhaps we should just distance ourselves from him. If it is any consolation, I didn't think that Tarak took offense.
No. And that's what bugs me.
Then maybe we should have a conversation with Tarak. Just let him know that we didn't think of him that way.
Yeah.
And we quite like his company.
Yeah. That's all.
Awesome.
Oh, and Ginger is on my shoulder for now. Since
Oh,
she's
man.
out.
It could have been the only person that would have gone on the thing.
If she wants to, I'll let her go down with Tarak if that's something that she wants to do.
She went down with you.
All right. Yeah, I let her be on my shoulder since Jericho was all right with it. I assume she's having a grand time not having to
She
be
is
in my pocket.
very happy. She's T-posing, the world style, just enjoying the
Asserting
breeze through her
dominance.
fur.
Right.
Exactly. You
All
all make your way down within roughly about 4 minutes. Each of you arrive down the platform. Jericho waiting for you all. Yes, Cabell.
And while we were traveling down, Havel looked over at Cather and goes, "Actually, this is wonderful. I'm glad that I got a little bit of alone time with you." And he kind of like, he steps a little bit too close to Cather.
You step back just a little bit, Cather, and you feel that golden bar.
Yeah.
It's very warm,
Yeah,
kind
yeah.
of pressing against the small of your
Every time.
back.
And he goes, "I swear, by the gods themselves, the death, knowledge, life, and light, that you will feel 1,000 suns of pain if for whatever reason, your little love quarrel with you and Melora gets in the way. Are we in understanding, friend?"
Havel.
Cather.
And I stare down at him, and I know I'm staring
You-
down at him.
You are just a little bit taller than him.
Like an inch taller than
Not by much. You're both very tall.
I will let nothing get in my way in helping this group find Samuel.
Great, then I'm glad. And Havel, to loosen the tension, for Havel, not necessarily for Cather, he pats him on the butt. And he goes, and then he turns around and goes, "Right. Showtime. Oh, crap. Laura, no."
My lord,
Hero.
you got him here.
What did you say?
Nothing, never mind.
All
I'm
right.
just saying, I'm glad she didn't hear me say showtime.
What do you hear with your elven ears, Melora?
That's right. So,
What do your elf eyes hear?
Show fine.
Show fine. I say showtime, and Melora just starts shooting up the place.
Specifically shooting Cathay.
Yeah.
Right.
So, you all arrive on the rim of the 3rd level. It is nice. It is still ever so slightly raining. You guys have, it's super, super nice because the arch of the cave and the roof of the cave has been blocking the weather. So you guys haven't been gotten wet quite yet, but you guys arrive on the very edge of, that's called the arch, it's the lip of the cave. You guys arrive on the very inside lip of the arch. So just about 10 feet away from you with a little bit of a sprinkle coming in from the wind. You can see the rain coming in towards you. At which point, Jericho waits for all of you to arrive before clapping his hands together. Says, "All right, we're going to the Anastriana Theater." And then he begins leading you to further back into the cave. As he leads Edward, you do pass your estate, along with several of the other estates, before making your way along to basically the very back, to where there is a large building. Looks very rustic and home style, not as elegant as some of the others, not like a grand theater where there's massive pillars out in front or anything like that, but something that looks very homey and inviting and not intimidating by any means. At which point, Jericho goes up to the first door, pulls out a key from his cloak, and unlocks it, holding the door open for all of you and bowing low.
Well, this isn't too bad.
I'll get there. Thank you, Jericho.
Of course.
And you said that our estranged friends will meet us here.
Yes, they will meet you here. I will introduce you to our accomplice as well.
Okay.
And after you all enter, he follows you in. It's not like the huge theater. Probably seats about 400 people. They're all red seats with a gold rim around them that lead onto a pretty large stage that does have a pit for the orchestra in front of it and a large red curtain across the back. He leads you in, and sitting on the edge of the stage with his feet dangling in the pit, you can see there's one man currently dressed from head to toe in black with his face covered, sitting there waiting for you. Yes, Al?
While we were walking, I kind of paced myself right next to Melora.
Okay.
And I kind of tugged on her dress a little bit and like slowly started to slow down and fall behind the group.
Mm-hmm.
Slow
And-
down as well.
As we start to get behind the group a little bit, I kind of lean in and whisper, Melora, you mind perhaps doing a bit of reconnaissance, making sure that no one else is around?
I
Thanks.
didn't mind. I will do that.
Thank you. And I walk forward and let Melora on her merry way.
All right. So the rest of you all enter into the theater. Melora, what would you like to do?
I am going to, first of all, I would like to look at what vantage points are available to kind of see what my best choice and best way to go about it, if it is the pit or if there is a better choice to have a good vantage point.
Okay, so you're inside the theater then?
Not yet.
Okay.
I would like to examine the outside of the theater and see if, and I know most theaters have it, but most theaters have a roof hatch in order for sets to be transported inside.
Yep.
So I would like to see if I could climb the outside.
Okay. Yeah, there's it's an alley, but it's like just the 2-foot separation between the building to the next side of it. On the very back side of it, you can see there is almost like a rebar type of ladder that goes straight up the inner wall that goes up right next to the theater, allowing you to gain access to the roof.
All right, I will do that. And once I'm on the roof, I would first like to kind of take a perception check all the way around to see, just to see if I notice anything.
Okay, roll that perception check. Okay. Big things that you notice is across the street, and that has been the case all the way around the backside. are these very large estates that take up the vast majority of the space here on the third level. They're each kind of, you can see they come out from the far wall and go around in this little arch that then goes back in. Some of them have dense forests inside of them. Others have sparse trees. You can see that it's a variety of foliage. It's all very well maintained and well taken care of, with a nice fence around each of the property lines and a little separation between each of them. On the inner side of the wall is where all of the buildings are that have to do with business or commerce or anything like that. You've passed a variety of different shops and stores, each of them of varying heights and sizes, this one being one of the bigger ones, and you can see the rooftops of all of those around it as well.
All right. Once I make it to the roof, I would like to see if there is a hatch door.
There is.
All right. Is it open?
You go to pull on it and it is open.
All right. I would like to open it and see just where I am in respect to the stage. Do I have a straight down view? Is it at an angle or anything like that?
You're at a straight down view just on the back side of the stage. So if you were to look at it from one side, you can see into the stage and then into the stadium seating. Not the stadium seating, but into the theater seating. And then looking down from the other side, you can see basically everything behind the curtain. The curtain is basically just on the middle line of this hatch.
So I get the feeling that this is probably a good place to be.
Potentially, yeah.
All right. Is there a way to get in from the hatch?
Yeah, there is. There's a catwalk on the inner side outside of the curtain, and there's a little ladder that comes down onto a small platform that then leads onto a staircase that goes down onto the catwalk.
All right, I'll start taking that just to go down to tell everyone. And while I'm there, I would like to examine the inside of the theater as well, and the pit.
Perfect. You go inside and get down to the catwalk, at which point your arm stops hurting. Being here on the roof, you've been burning just a little bit, just enough. It's helpful that Catherine's on the inside on the stage. And you go down and you can see you have a large vantage point of all of the seating, all of the upper seating and the 4 booths on either side of the upper seating. And then you have an excellent vantage point of the stage and the backstage and the pit. You have basically a perfect view of everything except for the very side wings of the backstage.
All right. All right. I would like to... All right. I will go in the pit. But before that, I would like to try to block off the hatch so that if there's any of her people around, they kind of see through it or kind of get through it.
Yeah, you go back up you go back across the catwalk, up the stairs onto the little platform that leads to the ladder, which then allows you to go up and you close the hatch, and there is a bar on the inside that you can use to lock it.
All right.
So you go up and do that, and then you begin making your way through the intricate series of catwalks that allow you to get down towards the stage, get on the back side of the stage, and then coming up towards the front side of the stage towards the pit, meeting up with everybody else.
Edward is hanging a little bit closer to Tarak, and he whispers up to Cather and says, Cather!
You gotta unmute myself if I want to talk to people. Yeah, yes, Edward.
Hey, where should I hide? Please tell me where to go. I don't know.
Just stay in the pit with Tarak. You'll be fine.
In the pit? That's so close. Well, I suppose if Tarak's there, there's less of a chance I'll die.
Don't worry. He'll
Okay.
keep you safe.
There's always a chance that you'll die, but I'll do everything in my power that I won't let that happen.
That warms my heart. Now let's go.
All right. Now, I have a question. So, some pits have so the pits, when they're not in use, have a cover over them most of the time.
Yeah.
And we didn't want that cover open because we didn't want it clear that there are people there.
Mm-hmm.
Some pits have a bar of separation between the stage and the pit. Is there one here that the bowl could be waiting?
No. There's not a separation between the pit and the stage. And there's currently a cover on half of the pit. The other half of it has been removed and stacked nicely on the stage currently. You all make your way into the theater. Jericho leading the way as he guides you to the pit. all but Melora, who meets up with you guys in just a little bit. At which point he comes up and he shakes the hand of this man and says, "Thank you for coming. I appreciate the effort. This right here is Havard. He is heading this operation."
I bow.
He nods silently.
Jericho, or
Yes.
I suppose perhaps he can speak for himself. What faction?
This man deals with a variety of factions, but mostly under the guise of the Veil.
Well, friends, we're in good hands.
You should know he does not speak.
I assumed as much. Well, would you? So we're going to be hoping that we will not need your assistance, my friend. But one thing's for certain. I'm sure you can make yourself scarce. I will have 2 of my men within the pit, the orchestrated pit. If you care to join them, that is totally fine.
He reaches into his cloak and pulls out 2 little tiles, each with a little 6-sided emblem on each of them. And he connects the 2 and then puts 1 in his pocket and gives the other to you.
I take it.
And then he just walks away.
Strong and silent type.
Okay, do I know what this does?
You recognize this as
The transportation.
it's not transportation, it's tracking.
It's tracking.
Yeah, you know that this is ways that teams could stay organized and allow themselves to know where each other was. Yes. So by pressing on this, you basically get a sense in your mind of which direction you need to go and roughly how far you need to go to find your next person.
Are you sure that the mafia is not connected to this at all? 'Cause
No,
this is getting real mafia
no,
feeling.
no, not the mafia. I don't know why you would even assume that. I legitimately, I'm gonna be honest, this is Ryan talking, because I would literally like, I thought he just straight up gave me like a trap card and I'd just chuck it and he'd like appear. Like, he like ninja blind, just like,
right.
like,
I choose you, man.
knife. Like,
At this point, Jericho will turn to all of you and says, "Well, if I can no longer be of any service, I will take my leave.
Thank you very much. You've done plenty.
Do you feel compensated?
Yes.
Then I have done my job." Very well.
Jericho,
Yes, Master Phil.
if you happen to see my father, don't tell him that you saw me anywhere.
I see. I can do that.
That's
And then
that's
he
all.
turns on his heels, kind of clips them together, and then begins walking off.
Have a good day, Jericho.
You as well.
I would like to tell Havel the things that I saw from the roof and the things that I saw from the pit, and sort of say, since there is not a very convenient way for me to shoot from the pit with the cover over it, I have a feeling it may be better if I am on the roof.
I agree with that.
All right.
Would give you plenty of vision.
Do you know how much time we have, or should I just go up now?
Fellows, you likely have some sort of dial. They will watch on you. Yes.
Oh,
Does he have a
telling
watch?
time mechanism. Do I have one?
You
DM?
have an excellent watch on a chain.
Oh yes, well I have one of the finest watches from the finest watchmakers in the city. Their name is J.R. Cowlons. That's canonical. J.R. Cowlons, the best watchmaker in the city, Othala.
Yes.
Yes.
That down apparently.
It's Caulanz.
L.A.
It's just,
Cowlons.
believe it or not, it's European. It's just pronounced Collins.
Yeah, I
it
hold
reads-
up the golden little pocket watch.
It reads 11:30.
Okay. Positions, everyone. Positions.
All right. I start
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say I start making my way towards there, but I will kind of go to Renaya and sort of say, it'll be alright. Dinna fash.
Yeah, wisdom saving throw.
The cat is just as confused as to what's going on.
Alright, I think I pass with a 19.
This maybe.
Alright.
You could just do it anyway.
No. I look in Cather's direction,
Yep.
and then I just keep walking.
That's fine. That's fine.
I consider for a moment.
That's see for Drew that's a victory actually. The fact that you ever consider it is a victory.
And then I just go back to where I came from, and I will undo the bar and. Well, no, wait a minute. Before I go all the way up, can I see where the catwalk begins from where I was on the stage?
So there's a couple different catwalks. Basically, it creates a box around the backstage with 2 catwalks that go intersect in the middle, and then there's one that's just in front of the curtain, a little bit higher, and then there's that leads up to the platform that leads up to the roof hatch.
Could I make some sort of insight check to see if I were to be inside on the uppermost catwalk, would they be able to see me if they looked?
Go ahead and make a perception check. Or an intelligence check, whichever you'd like.
All right.
Make an intelligence perception check. That's what we'll do.
Right. Well, what if that's not as good as my perception?
Whatever.
13.
Yeah, you think you'd probably be pretty hidden. They'd have to be
Alright.
like looking straight up for you to.
All right, I'll keep the hatch closed then. No. I will keep it open in case I need to go out and kind of make any noise opening it. So
Okay.
I will leave it open, but I will stay inside for now.
Got it. Cool. Everybody else, where do you go?
Edward, I believe you're with me in the pit.
I will go wherever you go.
As they start heading to the pit, Renai is actually gonna like run over and kind of stop Tarak.
Yes, Reliant?
Do you still have that dagger you had before? Will you need it?
I believe. Are you talking about the dagger that I used to take blood and whatnot?
Yeah, and I mean, it didn't
Actually,
have to
that
be
was
one.
that was Edward's dagger.
I thought we didn't use that one because it was all
No.
fancy.
He didn't want to use mine. But I have some weapons if you would like. Would you like a javelin?
No, that's okay.
Don't you have your own dagger?
Me?
Yeah. I
No.
thought everybody had a dagger.
No.
Does Havel hear this?
Sure.
Do you need the weapon?
I don't need a weapon. I have a weapon. I just would. You know what? Never mind. It's okay. It's fine. And then.
Oh, it's fine. You can have my dagger.
No, it's okay. It's fine. I'll ask if I need it.
Travels without a dagger.
She has a mace.
I do have a
I
mace.
suppose.
I like my mace.
Havel pulls out, I believe his last dagger. I think he did something with his other one. I don't remember what though.
I don't remember either.
He takes it out and he like holding the blade hands you the dagger. He's like, take the dagger.
Are you sure? Like I don't.
I have
you-
plenty of weaponry, and he like gestures to his rapier. He's like, I'm totally fine. Please.
Okay, and she's gonna take it, and she's just gonna kind of like attach it to her side.
Now, if you do happen to need a javelin, I've got plenty.
I'll
Yes,
keep that
Tarak,
in
we
mind.
all heard you have javelins.
Thank you, Tarak.
Great. Glad I could at some time potentially be of help. I will be in the pit. Edward, do you need help getting down or out?
I'm not a child, Tarak.
Well, yes, but it's not a small. It's like, how deep is this pit?
About 10 feet.
It's like 10 feet.
Well,
It's a pretty-
I'm assuming there's a ladder or something. It's not like musicians just jump in with their drums.
I don't know how musicians get in here.
There is a little staircase on the side on either side.
Oh, well, in that case, there's stairs. Never mind, you can do it yourself.
Awesome. So
To
you
the
guys
pit.
get into the pit. Cather, where are you going?
I'm just gonna go over to where I assume we're gonna be standing on the stage, and I'll
Center
just
stage.
sit down and close my eyes.
Okay. Renaya and Havel, where do you guys go?
Where's Havel going?
Havel is standing center stage.
Renaya is standing on whatever side of Havel is opposite of Cather.
Perfect. You guys look great.
Yes.
Form a flying V.
We're
Sit
here.
there,
We did it.
and wait for just a few moments before Melusina, who is also arriving early, not as early as you guys, but was trying to, walks into the door. You can see that she's in her black gown with her very tan skin, white hair pulled up in the well-braided crown that she has normally adorning her head. Her longer features, very elegant as she makes her way towards the stage. You see that she walks in the door, notices you, smiles just a little, and then puts her hands behind her back and begins walking towards you guys. Yes, Laura?
I forgot to say, but I have an arrow ready.
Okay.
Edward
That is
also
where-
whispers to Tarek, "Isn't she gorgeous?"
I swear to God.
You can't see her.
That's all.
You
Bummer.
can feel the
And
hotness
with-
from here.
With the arrow knocked and with Edward feeling her presence, we're gonna take our break. So we'll be back in like 10 or 15 minutes. Let us know if you guys not let us know, but we'll be back, and then we should be good to go. Let's keep going. So we'll be right back.
No.
Bye.
No.
All right, so we are back. Where we left off, everybody had made their way to the Anastriana Theater. That's a hard word for me to say. The Anastriana Theater, where they had begun to set up their ambush meeting type thing. They're not quite sure. They don't really have a plan. They left off just as Melusina was entering through the theater, and she had begun to walk down one of the two aisles on either side of the center seating, making her way towards the stage. You guys watch as she approaches, goes out left, and then steps up onto the stage and bows very deeply before saying, "So, I assume that this is not the meeting that I was expecting it to be."
Well, that depends. What were you expecting?
New clients.
I apologize in advance, but well, as far as I know, I don't think that we're buying.
That is rather unfortunate. She'll snap her fingers and a chair will appear behind her, at which point she'll begin to sit down and magically pull the chair in behind her as she sits, and then crosses her legs and holds her hands up, her elbows resting on the armchair, on the armrests. "So, what are you looking for then? I see that you have found new friends, Renaya."
I just Cather like moves his hand down to his hip where the hilt of his sword is.
We don't want any trouble.
Fantastic.
We do want information, though.
What sort of information? If I remember correctly, you've been in my shop before.
Briefly. I want to know, and I'm going to be clear about this, I want to know about a certain product that had moved through your possession. A boy. Someone rather close to Renaya.
I believe his name is Samuel, is that right?
Correct. And might I ask, what have you done with Samuel?
What do you want for him? What will you give me for him?
I suppose you're not asking the monetary.
No. Ah, the Stoic speaks. Go on, say what you were going to say.
Will you take?
When you were in my possession, there were interesting characteristics to certain aspects of you, Renaya. And she'll reach into her coat and pull out a little vial of black, thick liquid. It seems that your blood has very interesting properties. I'd be willing to make a trade. The boy for Renaya.
Not gonna happen.
Nope.
That is rather unfortunate.
Anything else that I could get you? I have plenty of connections.
Oh, I'm sure you do. That's how you managed to get me here. But you see, there are only certain things that interest me. Things that will help me achieve my own goals, much as you use your assets to achieve yours. Nothing
What
that you
else
have
can I
is
do for you?
That is an interesting question. I do not know you all that well. I would like to know how you escaped from my hut, my home.
Honestly, I would like to know that answer a little bit as well.
Half of your bindings were still there, hanging from the roof, and yet the other was not. I assume that you are strong, but I don't think you are that strong. Fascinating. I come here to do strict business, and I know what I want. If you will not abide to my wills, I will see myself out.
So that's it. You do not want to take Renaya. You take Renaya for the boy, or we don't see the boy at all.
Or I keep what I want. That is how this works.
Might I ask, out of just curiosity, what is so special about Samuel?
There's nothing in particularly special about Samuel.
Then why couldn't you find any other boys?
I have found several boys.
Right. And if we grant you Renaya?
Well,
What then?
then I will give you back Samuel. I will return him to wherever you'd like. I could even find a family for him. That would not be difficult. Like you, I have many connections.
I'm sorry, but my special properties for what you see as just any other boy does not seem like a fair trade to me.
I can give you as many of the children as you'd like, if you are to come.
Why are you after them?
That is my own business. So, do we have a deal?
I don't believe we do. Very unfortunate.
I will see myself out then. At which point she stands up and the chair disappears and she begins making her way off stage.
Renaya just looks desperately at Havel.
And Havel, from his sleeve, allows the card to slide out.
Okay.
And he just goes, he walks up to Renaya quickly before Melusina leaves fully and goes, if we hand you to her, there's a very high potential that we can find you, but I have no promises that you will come back in anything less than one piece. You know that, right?
Yes.
Let's hope that my coin carries as far as I want it to. And he turns back around and goes, Melusina!
She stops and then turns slowly. Yes.
You said that Renai was very important to you. How many boys do you have in your possession? How many children do you have in your possession?
5 souls for Renaya.
I notice you don't answer the question.
That is again my business. Renaya is worth 5 souls to me.
God's help us all. You will return Samuel and the remainder of the souls. I kind of like look back at Renaya with a very sad look.
Is that a deal?
I'm not the one to sign off on this contract.
Renaya?
You let them go and you leave them alone.
The boys or your friends?
Both.
And you come with me.
And I come with you.
I can abide by these terms.
Okay.
Fantastic. I will meet you back here in an hour. And then she turns on her heels and leaves.
I would like to exit the hatch and see if I can make out where she goes.
Make a perception check.
As soon as Melusina leaves, I hold up the card, signaling the watcher to start following her.
17.
Yeah, so you watch as she leaves the front entrance and then goes to what would be the right side as she comes out, back towards where you guys came. And as you watch her go, you see one black figure crawling across rooftops, making his way behind her. Before she goes around the edge of the wall, past where you can see.
All right. I'll start making my way down.
Even after she leaves, I will. I'll put a hand on Edward's shoulder to stop him from moving, and just hold up a finger.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Edward does say in a hushed voice, They let Melusina take her. How could they do that?
Just
Why?
because the witch is gone doesn't mean that anything that she brought with her is as well. Hush now.
Edward is silent.
well, it appears that we're royally fucked. Are you sure that this is okay with you?
Yes.
You're not going to die.
I know.
Pavel, are you still holding on to, it's almost like a porcelain token, but that card. As you're going through it, you have a small like probe in your mind, and you can feel it moving what would be southeast, getting slowly further away from you.
Right. Renaya, you're going to stay here, Cather. Be her sword. And Havel's gonna start leaving. He's go, Melora, you're with me.
Aye, but we have a little predicament, don't we?
What is that?
She can't leave me.
You both are royally just the worst, you know that. Okay, fine. Both of you, be the eyes and ears, cover her. I will do this on my own then.
I still didn't think that is wise.
Well, then what is? Because someone has to know where she's going, aside from our watcher. And she has to be here in about an hour, and if she's not,
Aye.
we are just as dead as we started.
Well, you're good with words, Havel. I didn't think it'd be wise for you to be out when she arrives. She didn't see me, she saw Cather. But I think that Cather and I could go.
All right. Fine. Fine. Go.
All right. I just go. I just start walking.
Has Melora made her way down from the catwalk?
I'm
Yes.
at the bottom now. Yes.
Okay, I'll follow her.
And I start heading in the direction that I saw her go. And do I get the? All right. Let me think about what it is I want to be asking.
Havel,
Sir.
does that card work for anyone?
We can try it. And I flick him the token.
Catch it.
Drew, you catch it. Press your hand on the six-sided symbol on the inside of it, and you can feel a probe in your mind, gently tracing this path of this opposing card.
Do I? When I saw the shadowed figure following her on the rooftops, did I catch a glimpse of where it came from and how close it was to me?
It came from a lower roof deck, just beneath the vision of what you can see from your higher roof deck. As you look through the hatch, you're not quite on the very edge of the roof, and so there's just that cut off the roof line, and then it appeared from beneath that, and then started going across the roofs. So.
All right.
I will actually pass the towel to Melora.
I take it, and I just go into tracking mode, so to speak.
I will assist and follow her lead in whatever way I can.
Fantastic. You guys take off. Before we go over to you, the four of you guys, is there anything that you're going to do before we jump over to Melora and Cather?
Edward.
Edward looks at Track and says, I have to ask them one thing. I'll make it quick. Is that okay?
That's fine. Be warned, if they are still here, then they will know where you are.
Here's what I'm thinking, Tarak. If Cather's gone, wouldn't that be suspicious? I can make myself look like Cather. I just won't say anything. But I could stand there.
Go for it.
Are you sure?
Are you sure?
I
That
don't
means you'll be
know.
in plain sight. It would be a big help, but I won't force it on you.
I don't want to make this decision, Tarak. Tell me a yes or a no.
Does Havel hear this?
Yes. At this point, you can hear the gibbering. You can't quite make out what it is, but you can hear them jabbering beneath.
Tarak, what is it? What do I do?
I look at Edward. I look him deep in the eyes. And I say,
Edward, it is
Yes,
very
Tarak.
unlike you. It is very unlike you to let someone else make your decisions for you.
You're not wrong about that.
If you're going to be so proud about being able to talk and be this educated man, then an educated man should make his own decisions.
Fine. I'll give it a shot. Plus, I
Good.
kind of want to see her face again. And he, at that, oh gosh, I can't believe he's doing this. He'll cast Disguise Self and try to match his height, and
Wait.
just full Cather. I am Cather.
Quick question: how long is Disguise Self last?
1 hour.
Okay, so you would know that.
so
So
she'll be back in an hour. So wait like
So-
45 minutes.
so Edward. Oh, okay. Never mind then, because whatever. He'll wait.
Anything else that you guys want to do?
Havel's gonna look over at Renaya. And
He's going to look her dead in the eyes.
And proceed
And-
from there.
no, he's going to look. Well, one, the look is very stern at first, and then an almost turns into defeat. Like you can see a sort of sadness in his eyes. And he just goes, I'm sorry.
Nothing to be sorry for.
No. I came in here expecting to leave with all of you. And we're going to be one short in about an hour. I don't expect it to stay for that long. Like that. You're braver than any person that I know for willingly giving yourself to this woman. But remember what you promised me. You're going to atone for your debt by staying alive. Okay, and I keep many marks on my debt. So, if I find out that you are not going to fulfill that debt, I will chase you into the 9 and force you to fulfill it.
That's fair.
All right. Well, we got plenty of time to kill. You want to go check out the costumes?
Yeah.
Did you hear that, Track? They said costumes.
Aw.
Maybe I could have one. Maybe there's one.
I just point and shrug.
Oh, Edward runs up the stairs and said, costumes? Did somebody say costumes? I want to have a look.
Yeah, we're going to go look at the costumes.
Do you think I
Please.
could have one, maybe?
Um,
Oh, wait, that would be stealing. That's wrong.
Oh.
Technically speaking, that would be wrong, yes.
I'm not used to that. Well, we can look at them, I guess.
If you borrow it for a period of time and, I don't know, potentially mail it back,
Well,
I'm sure they want it to be
But
seen.
what if they need it, Havel? Then I'll just look.
But what if we need it, you know? I'm just...
Okay, Havel, we're not taking a costume. We're just gonna
Okay,
look.
I wasn't advocating that. I was advocating borrowing it, but sure, we can go by what you say.
Hopefully no black smoke billows out if we borrow it. And he starts walking towards the costume.
So, with you guys merrily trying to distract yourselves from the intensity of the situation, we will cut over to Cather and Melora. You guys exit the theater and briskly begin making your way southeast towards the front of the third ring. As you get past the arch, the rain begins to fall on your skin as you feel it through, and then you guys begin making your way what feels like off kilter. You were making your way southeast, and then as you come around towards the front, you can tell to your left is still where they're going, and so you have to make the assumption that you have to go down the stairs and through the lower level heading further east. And so you do that, begin making your way down, before eventually making your way. You actually manage to catch up just a little bit as you're walking much faster than she is, and you're following through, and you can't see the man that you're trying to follow, that you're tracking, but you do end up catching a glance of Melancina. She goes down. You guys have made your way down to the lowest level, and then made your way past a couple of the courtyards to the large arching staircase that goes down, with the arches beneath, and inside the inner wall there's a little door that she goes up to and produces a key, unlocks it, and then follows in. At which point the door closes, and you can see you guys stay back and watch for just a little bit, and this black figure approaches the door, pulls out a couple tools, jimmies it for just a little bit before unlocking it and going in as well. Do you guys follow?
I didn't have thieves' tools myself.
You go up to the door and it's unlocked.
Cather,
Aye.
I know you're not the dexterous type.
No.
Stealth and being careful is very important right now.
I agree. If you don't mind, dang it. I'll begin to take off my armor.
Okay. Okay. Roll just a real quick thing. Roll a dexterity check just to see how quickly you can get all this armor off. Normally it takes about 10 minutes to don. And
Yeah,
you roll.
like not 10 minutes to take off. It's like a couple minutes to take off, right?
What if in the least awkward way possible I help him?
Okay. Yeah, you guys strip down.
Okay. Do I need to make a check if she's helping? I don't know.
Nah, I'll say it's fine.
Okay.
You guys, are you doing this just on the inside of the door or outside the door?
Outside.
Yeah.
Okay. Where do you leave the armor?
I'll just. Is there just some back alley very nearby? Actually, is there an inn nearby?
There, yes, there was one. Back a little ways, you know that there's the 12 cranes right away.
Okay.
That's the first one that comes to your mind. It's a little ways away, as it's on the very front courtyard, and you don't see another one nearby.
Right. Screw it. I'm just gonna take it. Is there just some dark alley?
There's a couple different ones near you.
Is there? Yeah. What does the ground look like? Is it stone? Like
yeah,
mud?
it's cobblestone.
Cobblestone. Okay. I'm just gonna find some dark alley. Gonna throw it over there. I'm gonna keep my shield on my back and my sword on my hip.
Okay. All right. You do all that. You stash it, and then you begin making your way over. I'm assuming you guys go through the door.
When the shadowed figure opened it, was there a creak?
No.
All right. I open it slowly and I leave it open for Cather to get through.
Yeah.
And I very slowly, carefully close it.
Perfect. You close it. Do you lock it behind you?
Well, no, because he didn't lock it. So that would be quite suspicious if he were to discover that. I will leave it. What do we see?
Yeah, you turn around and there's a very dimly lit hallway. And immediately you can hear this gentle roar around you. This flow of water, this large flow of water. As you guys begin making your way down a tunnel that's just ever so slightly dimly lit, the roar gets a little bit louder and louder and louder until you eventually find a staircase that goes down. At which point, you make your way down the staircase and then into another hall, and you can see that there's just a branch off the side, at which point the roar of this is getting much, much louder. You guys peek your head just around the corner of this side hallway, at which point you can see it opens up into a very large cobblestone room with these 4 rooms, one in each corner and a door on each side. Past it, there's a hallway where that running water is coming through. You can see you go down a hallway that just goes down the stairs a little bit, and then there's some roaring water. And you can actually hear screaming right now. Not screaming as like people in pain, but like yells of surprise. And there is a large crash before what you hear is to be some chanting. And as you begin making your way around the corner, you start looking forward, and you make your way about halfway into this room before you're pulled into a side hallway of these 2 rooms, at which point the cloaked figure grabs both of you and is covering both of your mouths, holding you against the wall. And he lets go and kind of covers his mouth just a little bit before allowing all 3 of you to peek out. You can see now that you're in the large room, there's 2 rooms that you passed on the 2 front corners, and then there's 2 rooms that you are in between right now. And then in between all the rooms, there's a staircase that goes down into another hallway, and that's where all that rushing water is. And that's where all the noise is coming from. What would you guys like to do?
I want to investigate the Russian water, but
Okay.
is that wise of me? I leave Ginger with Cather.
Okay.
And I say, stay here. And I very sternly, very quietly talk to her. And I say, no, if anything happens to me, you are going to stay with Cather. Do you understand me? No wandering off. Nothing.
She looks kind of confused, as this is the first time you ever really like left her with someone else to keep her out of danger. Before she just kind of like crawls up Cather and then almost reluctantly and like a little confused kind of sits down on his shoulder.
I scratch her behind her ears before I go, and I say, all right, I'm going to go investigate this. I didn't know if you want to just stay here or if you want to do something else, but I need to see what this is.
Don't worry.
The cloaked figure then looks at you both and makes a slight bow before handing you the other card and begins making his way back where you guys came.
All right. Excellent. I will very, very carefully start making my way down with... First off, what is the staircase made of?
It's just made of stone. It looks like it's been carved out of the mountain as well.
All right. I will go one step at a time to see if any sounds change as I go down.
Okay. Go ahead and roll a stealth check for me.
All right. All right. Non-natural 20.
Perfect. So you come out of the hallway and make your way about 20 feet along the outer wall of this one room before going in a little ways, getting yourself to the staircase. At which point the staircase only goes down about 10 feet, at which point you're in a hall that lasts another about 15 feet or so. And you will stop at the end of the hall, and in front of you, you can see there is a large pit in the center of this very, very large room. On the two left and right walls, you can see that there's two pipes coming out, each one with this roaring water coming out of it. And as you look at it, it looks like sewage is coming out of these two pipes that then flow down into these channels in the floor that have bridges going over them and empty into the pit in the middle of this room. On either side between the two pipes, you can see that there is a small archway. And as you're looking through, for a moment, it's just the yelling stops before, and it's just the roar of the water before, out of the left side, the inner wall crashes in as you see this large woman, probably 15 feet tall, pale skin with like a black like tint to her skin. There's not hair on her head, but this black tint that kind of frames her face and her hair that goes out into these large black horns, comes out from behind her with these spindly arms into this black cloak that's flowing with shadows. And there's this eminence of cold as she goes flying backwards over the pit. And you can see this a little bit shorter, only about 12 feet tall creature, this gray being with long extended arms and this faceless feature with almost this this tower coming out of his head. It almost looks like the root of a tree, like the trunk of a tree, not made of any branches or anything like that. All this very skin, smooth gray skin with wrinkles in it, and a little glow of light. You can see he's covered in scratches and gashes, and he tackles this woman and she goes crashing through the other wall, at which point you can see Melusina comes running out of the hallway, kind of looks around in a panic before she begins making her way further into the building or into the tunnels. You can hear crashes and a large variety of noises. And as you get a little bit closer, you can see into the side hallway on the right side, and you can see that there's a huge table, probably about 40 feet long, that has now been flipped over. And this gray skinned creature is using it as almost like a kind of a shield, as this white lady with the blackened hair or the blackened tones and the horns is almost like pressing down on him. And as she is, frost is coming from her hands as she spreads across the table as she's pushing down on this, causing the wood to splinter and crack before eventually the table splits in half, from almost not splits in half, but shatters as there's a large strip of ice has encased the wood, causing it to crash over the gray-skinned creature. And then she kicks him in the side, causing him to fly over to the side of the wall, which one you can't see what she does next. There's a few more noises and crashes, and you sit there almost petrified as you don't really know what to do. And you sit there and these noises continue. What are you going to do?
Well, first, I'm going to take a moment. Have I ever seen that faceless figure before, whether it's depicted in a disc or anything like that?
Roll a religion check.
11.
You don't recognize who this is.
Wasn't there a statue of it at the temple?
I thought there was.
Oh, yes, there was. I'm so sorry. Yes, you do. You would recognize this as Malice. I'm sorry. I thought for some reason, I only remembered you seeing the symbol. Yes, you recognize this as the statue of Malice.
Oh,
Yay.
wait. Do I recognize the horned woman then?
We'll say that your religion check was for that, at which point, no, you would not.
All right. That's very stupid, Laura. Don't do that. But also... but no, that would be very dangerous.
There's another large crash in the side room. While she's trying to figure this out, Catherine, are you going to do anything?
Did I, by chance, hear any of that?
Yes, all of it.
Yeah. And does it sound like it came from the direction that Melora went?
100%.
Okay. I will do what I can to very quietly make my way over to where Melora was.
And I will start quickly but quietly heading back towards where Cather was, because
Nice.
I was about to intervene, but then I thought that's not very smart of me. I should have more than one person. So I go back to get him.
You start to head back, Melora, at which point you turn around and take 2 steps, and then when you look up, you almost run into Cather in a very familiar fashion.
Are you alright?
At which point you guys are there.
I heard a...
Cather, you look past her and you can see that same scene. Now the left wall is basically collapsed inward. There's a large jagged arch through it, at which point there are 2 pipes, one of them craning and spilling sewage out in a random direction, the other still in its upright position, pouring sewage out into the channels. And then on the right wall, you can see these 2 more pipes, at which point there's another hole that had been broken inwards towards the room. And that's where most of this most of these noises are coming from. It's hard to hear, and it's hard to hear some of the smaller noises. It's just the really big noises as there's a large downpour sewage in front of you. But that is what you can see right now.
And do I, perchance, recognize these figures?
You haven't seen either of them. From the angle that you're in, you can't see into that room.
If I walk over slightly and just peek my head in,
so you make your way over to the right side.
Yes, if Melora doesn't stop me.
So
I
you make
keep
your way
my finger here as he's walking
very quietly.
You make your way over about 10 feet, which allows you to cross this bridge going over this channel of sewage. And you look in just ever so slightly, at which point you can see what you would recognize as Malice to be holding this woman, kind of one hand on her abdomen and another hand kind of beneath her head, holding her up against the very far back wall, at which point you can see there's a large mural of different arcane symbols and designs, and in the front of it there is this shard of ice with these 2 black horns coming out of the middle of it, and you can see as Malice is pushing it on her, his hands are beginning to glow, and rings of arcane symbols are beginning to wrap around his forearms. As you guys sit there, you hear in the distance a few cries of what sounds like children.
I turn to Melora.
Okay,
Yeah,
you
we
guys,
might start making our
you
way that
guys
way.
book it over back around the pit to the other side where they kind of caved in, and you guys enter into this room. This very, very large room that has an L off the side of it, and you can see that there are not cages, but they're also not prison cells. They're kind of this awkward in between where they're not quite as big as prison cells, and it's not like they're all built into the wall, but they aren't quite like cages for animals either. This awkward in between. You can see there's a large number of them, probably 20 or 30 of them within this one room. Currently, there's no kids in any of them, but you can see that there is an L. And as you go back around, you can see there are 2 kids in 2 of these cages. One of them to be a small gnomish boy, kind of huddled in the corner, and the other one a little bit of a chubbier human girl.
I approached the gnome boy.
Okay.
Is
he
your-
backs into the edge of the corner of the edge of the cage.
I put my hands up to show I didn't mean any harm. Is your name Samuel, by chance? I'm a friend of Renaya's.
You can see as soon as you say her name, he like peeks up a little bit.
Would you like to come with me?
Glancing around, do I see any like keys anywhere? Do I hear anyone walking nearby? Do I hear any voices?
You don't hear anyone walking nearby. The only thing that you hear is the sewage and the what is now almost like this charge sound. Like you can feel like something's like charging for just a second, and then there's a kind of this pop, at which point it actually pops your guys' eardrums. And as you kind of come back to you and readjust, you no longer hear any fighting over there. As for the keys, you don't see any keys.
Okay.
Can I investigate the not cages, not cells, to see how you open them?
Okay. There is just a simple latch in front of it with like a padlock on it.
Wait. You don't by chance have a hammer? Right. Oh dear.
I have.
Here, let me see. What's in my explorer's pack?
Well, all right now. I have a question. This could very well not work.
Okay.
But could I try to use one of my arrows in the lock?
In the lock, like a lockpicking tool?
Sort of, just to see if I could manipulate it in such a way.
Probably not, as the arrowhead is just it's like wider than the actual key slot.
Alright. Do I get the feeling that the rushing water is loud enough to cover a sound such as breaking a
Probably.
lock?
It would depend on how loud it is to break the lock.
Yeah.
Your experience with breaking locks is about minimal, so.
Right.
I really wish Havel was here right now.
I really wish. Well,
Okay, real quick, divine sense.
Fae feet are undead, right?
60 feet, yes.
Okay. I suppose you do feel one undead.
Where?
In the opposing room.
In the opposing room.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. How far away is this room?
It is, let's see, you guys are around here. You going through diagonally through the walls, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 45, 50, 55. It's just on the very edge of your 65 or your 60-foot range.
Okay. All right. Just so you know, there is an undead presence about 60 feet that way. So if we do make a noise, we're gonna have to move quickly.
I forget, what kind of weapons does Cather have?
I have a sword.
Gather currently has a longsword on him,
Yeah.
right?
Do you
Longsword?
think
Yeah.
you could use the end of your sword like you would a hammer?
Willing to give it a shot?
I back away and I let him try.
Roll an athletics check, Drew.
Okay. And if I ooh man.
I get a bow and arrow ready at the door just in case.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm gonna kind of stick it in there. And just slam into it as hard as I can. Just kind of
Roll that athletics check, boy.
Yep. All right. Oh no, I'm not gonna use that one. Oh dear. Pressure. Okay. That's could be better. Could be worse. 15.
Okay. You go in and you manage to like dent the whole cage, causing the wire bars to like collapse inward. Not to the point that anything you can't have access to it. You don't break the lock, but there is now like a crater in the cage now.
Okay.
All right. Does anyone come?
No.
All right.
Okay.
I point him to the other cage of the girl, and I now that there's a crater, am I strong enough with a 10 strength to try to help Samuel out through the crater?
So the wires didn't break or anything like that. The
Did
small
they
wire
bend?
they bent in, exactly. Yeah. So now there's like a dent in the cage, quote unquote, but there's not like a hole in it yet.
All right. Can I? I really wish I had magic.
Same. Okay. Okay. So actually, looking at the cages, does it look like has the door been like weakened at all? Like, does it look?
It looks like it. It's very like contorted and jagged. It's just barely holding on. The lock is actually like stuck in an upright position from the pad from the.
I'd like to
lock,
try
like,
to kick the lock.
I was gonna say, could we just like kick down the door at this point?
I tell Samuel to back away so that it doesn't like.
Yeah, it's not overly big. It's about 5 feet deep, so he gets back about as back as he can. Are you guys doing this together or separate?
I quite like together better.
Okay, sure.
All right.
Awesome. One of you roll with advantage.
All right. Okay. 15.
Okay.
With advantage.
I'll say with both of you having done the 15, you do enough damage to get some of the poor welding work on the corner of the cage where it's kind of collapsed in to break a little bit, causing there to be about 3 or 4 of these prongs that you could bend back in.
Yeah.
Allowing for Samuel, being the small gnome boy that he is, only about 1.5 feet tall, to kind of fit through. He does give himself a good cut along his ribs, but he manages to pull through, at which point he just like jumps into you, Melora.
All right. Do I get the feeling I could carry him if I had to?
100%. This guy's like 20 pounds.
If I may, real quick, as soon as he jumps out, I will take out Ruat and I cast Cure Wounds on him.
Perfect.
And actually, I'll roll for the daily whatever thing recharge real quick.
Perfect.
Ooh, hey, that's,
I think you'd only use like 2, so.
Yeah, I'm back to full charges now.
Fantastic.
And now I just use what? Okay. And after that, I'll make my way over to the other cage.
I was going to say I didn't feel right about leaving her.
Are you guys gonna try to get that as well?
This time
5.
I will help him. I will help him this time. It occurred to me that perhaps I should not be the one rolling because he is the stronger one and would be able to add more to the roll.
Potentially.
But,
although you can roll better.
Awesome. Catherine, make an athletics check with advantage.
All right. By the way, Samuel got 5 points of healing.
Perfect.
Whoo! All right, so that was with advantage, a natural 1 and a natural 19, so a total of 24.
Ooh.
Yeah, this time you kind of like know where the weak spot on the lock is. You were thinking about it, and you can see right where the weak spot is. And so you go in and you take the pommel of your sword, which is like a good chunk of steel.
Yeah.
And you just crash it down. Melora almost like pushing on your shoulder blades as well to help with it, causing the lock to split enough for you to unlock it and open the door.
Okay. You said it's a little girl.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll just, if she'll let me, I'll pick her up.
Yeah, she does the same thing. As soon as you open it, she like jumps into your arms.
Okay. Put the sword away.
I let Ginger run across my arm from Catherine.
Okay.
And I look at Samuel and I say, all right, we are going to run. It is very important that we stay as quiet as possible. All right, I'm here now. you're safe. And I just take him and I hold him in a way like to his head facing the back, and my mission is to get out.
Also, real quick, divine sense again.
Yeah. Okay, there's still that one undead.
Okay, cool.
Is it in the same place? Does that detect that?
It's about 5 feet closer.
Okay. Okay.
You guys go around the corner and back into the drainage area, at which point you look into the cavern where there's that lobe of the arch, and you can see, just as you're rushing past, you can see what you know to be Malice on the ground, just laying there with several large gashes in his body.
I'll run over to him.
Okay.
Do we see anyone else before he does?
You don't see anyone else.
And does it seem like this is the source of my divine sense?
I'll say that it lasts just long enough that you can tell that this is the source of your sense. You guys go over to Malice, and he kind of slowly looks at you, and just. Waits.
I stay by the door, ready to go.
Yeah, I'll set the kid down and usher her towards Melora.
I take her hand, and I look at Cather and I say quickly, and then run, and I start running.
Okay.
I'll just kind of look at him. Do I get the sense? Is this a real Malice? I don't have any
roll
real
a insight check.
Sure, cool, thank you. I don't have really any real way to base it, but you know what? Let's use this one. Okay, that's a number that exists. Insight's 14 or 13.
He looks like Malice.
Yeah. But he's undead, which I don't like.
Yeah, it's interesting because he doesn't seem like any undead that you've ever heard of. He has no aggressive nature to him aside from obviously this fight. As you're looking at him, he kind of waves and then he sticks out his hand and kind of rubs his fingers together, and this little pink scarf kind of comes out of what he forced, and then he just kind of like sets it down on the ground before like slowly like getting up and begins making his way towards you. At which point, do you move?
No.
Okay. He makes his way over towards you, like sets the scarf down in front of you, and then like with one finger, because his hand is as big as your body, just kind of like touches you on the head, and then like starts crawling towards the pit before he falls into the pit with all the sewage.
I'll just take the scarf that he set down.
Okay.
And I'll catch up. I'll make kind of quickly but quietly jog back towards Melora to catch up with them.
You start to jog back towards Melora, which is perfect because you're just about at the 120-foot range, which point you guys begin booking it back through the room with all the other rooms, up the stairs, through the little bit of a hallway before coming out of the doorway into the first level of Athala.
Oh my God.
It is raining and it has begun to downpour now.
I keep running. I keep running. I am not going to stop running for a good long while. And
is it at all possible for like on the way, like just slight detour,
grab
my armor and swing back around?
Of course.
But Drew, roll a d6 for me.
Sure. See if it's stolen or not. That's fine. I don't care. 2.
Your stuff is not stolen.
Nice. Cool. I like running, like I scoop it up and just hold it on my shoulder as I keep running.
DM.
Yes.
Do I can I guess how much time has passed and how much time until they are expecting Melancina again?
Roll an intelligence check.
Can I do the same? Just cause.
You can give her advantage.
Sure. I'm like, well, the sun's up there. It's, maybe over there.
20.
Can't see the sun.
Natural 20.
Nice.
Natural 20. You guys know that you're like right on the cusp of an hour.
Okay.
You had to go through all 3 levels
all right.
experience all this.
I hold on. I stop Catherine for a second and I say, how do we let them know not to let Renaya go? We have Samuel. She does not need to go.
Oh dear me, I wish I had magic. Okay, here's an idea.
All right. All right.
The squirrel. How fast?
Ginger is very fast.
Because she doesn't have to walk on the streets.
I keep Samuel and I scoop Ginger out and I say, Ginger, I have a very important mission for you.
She stands proudly.
You know the way back to Havel and Renaya and all them. I need you to go, and I need you to get them out of there, please. I love you.
She books on out, jumping out of your hands, at which point she scampers off, and then you can see she begins heading towards. You guys are about halfway up the staircase now, She's leading up to the second floor, so she gets all the way up there and then disappears behind the second wall.
Do we have both? We have both the tiles, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yep.
All right. Well, that could have been.
All right.
Oh well. I keep running.
Yeah. Keep running as quick as we can.
You guys start booking it back up.
And I'll at some point,
yes.
if I have to, I'll like scoop up one of the kids in one arm and like the armor in the other as we're running.
If you do that, your armor is actually heavier than either of the kids.
Probably.
So if you'll do that, I'll have you make an athletics check if you're gonna do that, or a constitution check.
How old is the kid?
They're both probably about 10 to 12.
Okay. Well,
the kid is doing a fairly decent job of keeping up with you guys.
For now,
That's fine,
yeah. If she seems to be doing fine, then I won't do that.
Cather.
Yes.
Should we go back to the 12 platinum cranes so that the children can be safe?
We probably should.
I mean, I didn't think it wise to go back to the theater with them if that's where Melancina is going to be.
Yeah, I agree.
Is there another place?
I suppose. I mean, we could go back to the suite. That seems like a place that they would likely go afterwards.
And there are many rooms. I do. Oh, all right. Let's go there.
Yeah. Although, okay, quick question, Mr. DM. Actually, now that I think about it, as we start making our way that direction, is the 12 which is closer to the theater, the 12 platinum cranes or the Sunrise Suite?
The Sunrise Suite.
It's interesting because the 12 platinum cranes is on the second level, but the Sunrise Suite is above the third. At which point the theater is on the third level. So,
Okay.
As far as like which would be quicker to get to, it would probably be the 12 platinum cranes because you could run the whole way there versus having to stop and wait for the elevator to get you up to the Sunrise Suites.
Are there different ways to go? Like, are we on the path that Melancina would be taking to get to the upper ring?
You don't really have a way of knowing that.
Maybe. Are we taking like the common road at this point?
You're taking the most common. You guys don't know of another way to get up the levels aside from the main staircases.
Right.
I start suggesting that we zigzag. We are heading in the same direction that she is going to be heading with the children.
I don't think would we have theoretically passed the 12 platinum cranes at this point?
You guys would be pretty close. You also know, well, kind of. So to get up to the third level, there is a staircase that goes up on. Let's see, if I remember correctly. So there's two staircases that go up on either side. So you guys would have been going up the right staircase to get to the second level, and there's another staircase that goes up the right side to get up to the. To get up to the third level, there's a center staircase. So you guys would have to pass the center staircase to go over to Platinum Cranes, as it's on the west side of the city, and you guys are currently on the east.
Let's just go to the Sunrise Suite.
All right. Yeah.
Okay. So at this point, you guys would know that it's basically been an hour, and you guys make your way up the stairs to the third level, and then head over to the arch that will lead you to the Sunrise Suites, and begin making your way up there. The rest of you have enjoyed about half an hour or so of looking at costumes. There's a little bit of tension in the air. You can tell that you're all very, very nervous. And after a little while, Havel, you know that you probably have about 5 to 10 minutes before Melusina should be arriving. You are currently muted.
You're muted.
Ah.
There you go. Who knows?
Sorry. Right. So for the past like 10 minutes or so, Havel has been trying to figure out how to take off a hat that he put on, forgetting that he had horns for a brief moment. So he's just driven holes into this like really like wide brimmed hat and has been like trying to take it off, but it's not quite working. Now realizing the time though, he just leaves it on. And it's just like, I think we're almost at our time.
Oh, really? Oh my. Okay,
yes.
give me one moment. Edward runs off stage, and
Okay.
then he kind of hides behind the bottom of the stage, and then
Okay.
he casts the spell, so he looks just like Cather.
Okay.
And then he starts walking up the stairs to the stage and goes, "Oi, I had to use the restroom, but I found my way back now." And then he walks to the center stage and says, he winks at Havel like that.
Havel just kind of like,
I am offended
it's so-
that you would ever consider me that low life.
Hey, Catherine's not here.
Cather didn't talk for very much of the interaction. I think it should stay that way.
Don't worry. I won't say anything. I just wanted to make sure if they're watching us that they weren't suspicious if they saw Cather leave. This is so he came back, you see. I won't say
Right.
anything. Don't worry. I'll just stand here.
Right.
Also, nice hat.
Thank you. It's new.
So I didn't really get to talk to Melora or Catherine before they went. And she's gonna kind of like run down to the pit first, real
Okay.
quick, and find Tarak.
He's sitting there very patiently.
I have not moved.
You just see like Renaya like bust in. Tarak,
You're blowing my cover.
it doesn't matter. Okay, I'm probably going anyway. Okay, so you deserve a lot more good, and you don't forget that. And she runs back up, and then she's gonna run up to Edward, and she's gonna be like, Edward, okay, the world is very big, and you need to go see it, okay? And then she's going to go to Havel, and she's gonna go, Havel, I need you to tell Melora and Cather, tell Melora that I hope she gets to see a lot of greens. And then tell Cather that he's not a burden, and you've done a lot of good.
Edward pipes up and says, "Well, Renaya, that was quite nice, but my name is Cather, not Edward, and
Yes, no, you tell Edward that for me.
I will
Cather.
tell Edward
Havel.
that
It's a subtle
that-
Irish Grant, not
Ha-
strange Southern.
Havel laughing kind of takes Renaya by the shoulders and goes, "Why don't you just tell them that yourself?"
Well, they're not here, and Melusina's gonna be here any minute now.
But when you get back, when we get you back, okay?
Okay, but if I don't, will you tell them that?
I promise. And he sticks out his pinky.
Pinky.
Tarak calls from the pit briefly.
Renaya,
Yeah.
come closer.
Okay. And she kind of scurries over.
He looks up from the bottom of the pit.
Lifting one of the covers.
He says, Renaya, you remember what I said to you after you had that talk with Havel?
Yes.
Sacrifices are necessary to gain what you want. Never regret them. He loves the cover.
She scurries back.
Well, this
So-
is it, I guess.
Edward, please. Silence.
Cather.
Cather, please. Shut up. And
You,
Edward holds up a thumbs up.
Renaya, everything's gonna be fine. Okay? You'll get your opportunity to tell them. I promise.
If I don't, you pinky promised.
I am fully aware, but I am not going to give up on that for a while, okay? We will get you back.
at this point, you can hear there's a little, ever so slightly, you can just hear a small thud on the door.
Like kind of like a dog trying to like get in. They just like scratch at the door, or just
No,
like
you can't quite hear that. It's more like there's a,
It's literally.
and that's all you hear. You're not really sure
Literally
what it was
just
or where it came from.
Boom. Boom.
Hamill wouldn't check that.
Yep.
It's probably just the wood moving.
After you realize that the time comes for Melancina to arrive,
Yeah.
and you all stand there almost holding your breath, waiting for her to come back. And you wait. And you wait.
She's distracted.
As soon as a minute 30 passes by, like the actual time, Havel immediately assumes that something has gone terribly wrong because this never happens. Havel goes, "Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Okay, we need to get going. Something happened. I swear. No, okay. People in this line of work, people like her, they're not late. That is not something that they do. We are past our time. That means she was either held up, either Cather or Melora or whatever might be held up. Something might be going on. Something might be wrong. We need to get going. Come on. And like, Havel's just like, with the hat, just like holding on to it, just books it.
Edward turns to Renaya wide-eyed and just kind of shrugs. Like,
Renaya just kind of grabs Edward, walks over to the pit. Turak, we're going now, and starts walking.
Okay, all right. I find my way out of the pit.
Edward goes, where are we going?
I go
so
to the main.
sorry,
I go to the main entrance.
You open the door and immediately feel something stop and then slide. And then Ginger like crawls out from behind the door.
Renaya's gonna go and scoop up Ginger.
At which point she just kind of like lays down.
Oh, does Ginger notice that I'm Cather?
Yes. At
How?
which point she like very confusedly looks at you and then like kind of gets up, shakes a little bit, and then hops over to you. At which point she disappears into his shoulder.
Oh.
I say, well, hello there, Ginger.
Stop.
And then she jumps out,
I hate
clearly
you.
confused and freaked out.
I hate you so much right now.
Hey, I hold out my hands. I'm like, come here, Ginger. Come here.
She crawls up into your hands.
And goes, I can't speak squirrel, but where is Melora?
No. And then she'll go over to Ginger. She's like, Ginger, are they okay?
She can nod.
Oh, please. You think squirrels can't talk?
I also crowd around and I say, "What's that, Ginger? Little Cather's stuck in the well? Point the way! Point the way!"
Havel looks down at Ginger. Squeak, squeak, a squeak, a squeak, squeak.
Squeaky, squeak, squeak, squeak. Yeah, she kind of like nods and then like crawls into your hands, Havel.
Which way? That way?
All right,
way?
let's think this through. First of all, let's get somewhere where the witch wouldn't see us if she did just magically show up because she's a witch. Let's start with that.
Right,
Alley.
right,
I
right.
love alleys.
Right, let's find an alley. Okay.
You guys look around and all the buildings here on the inner side of the backside of the third ring are all very, very tightly packed together. The alleys are only about 2 feet apart. And on the opposite side, Edward, as you would know, is all of the royal estates for the most wealthy families. They're very, very large. And so there's not really a place to hide on either side of those. You guys would have to go down to a different area. You could possibly potentially hide between some of the temples as they're a little bit further apart.
You know, I don't believe that she knows that you're fellows. You do have an estate here, right?
We shouldn't go there.
Oh my god.
Okay, DM, do I know a faster way down to the second level or anything like that as a Mr. Fellows?
No.
It's okay if I don't, because I'm not used to that. Okay, cool.
Edward, where's your dwarf friend?
Shrug. Oh, it points down to the second level. Doesn't say anything.
That doesn't help me at all.
Let's go. Let's go. We need to go.
Let's just go. Second level. It's the best possible option. They went a direction. It'll be great.
We need to go.
Second level.
Perfect. So you guys make your way east around the front side, passing the Fellows Estate once again. Once you get past the arch, it does. You guys enter into a downpour before making your way down past the temples and down the staircase into the second level. Where are you going?
Duck into an alley.
Oh, you guys duck into an alley. It's not hard. There's plenty more space here in the second level.
The squirrel.
Yeah.
Ginger. That was her name. I apologize. I look at Ginger. I'm like, any directions, other one? Anything to help us? Can you lead us? Do you know where they were going?
Ginger heard us talking about where we were going. Do you think she might have some inkling about it?
Let's
She's
look
a
at
very
what
smart
stats.
What is the
squirrel.
What is the memory of a squirrel?
Little did you know, they took
Well-
the feat at level 4.
She managed to make her way
cat,
to you, didn't she?
Squirrel,
We-
imp,
we-
mastiff, mule.
That's true. She did navigate her way to the theater.
I need to
Let's see.
find
Is she a rat?
a band of
No.
intellect and give it to this squirrel.
I wouldn't call
She's
her a
very
rat around
smart.
Melora.
Let's see. Let's
I mean, it's probably the closest to a rat. They are rodents. Rats
Yeah.
are very intelligent.
I will say.
And great swimmers.
Yeah, we'll use the stats of a rat
Only
Which
a
point?
negative like 3 to intelligence.
that rely on.
What about
smell,
a weasel?
Oh, weasel might be on a weasel, huh? How about a weasel?
Sure. Tell you what, I'll only give her a -2 to intelligence.
All right. Now, are you gonna roll for her?
Yeah.
All right.
Don't worry, he's in the
well,
Kellops.
you roll good, so
Yeah. Ginger will look up at you, Havel, and then kind of look around, and then kind of look back at you and just kind of lift her shoulders.
Oh no.
Havel, didn't you say you could like track people? Use some Drok magic or something. I don't know. Think.
Oh. Librarians.
What?
Any?
We don't need books right now.
No,
we
no, no,
need
no,
to
no, no, no.
find.
No. Do I see any of them on the second floor? Anyone?
There's a couple. You look out, and you can see just a little ways away, probably about 100 feet away. There is one dude sitting there on what looks like just some bags with a coat draped over him, trying to stay as warm as he can in the rain.
Okay, all of you, stay right here. Ginger, stay with Cather, not Cather.
She like flops into his shoulder.
Yeah.
Edward looks like Edward as Cather looks like kind of uncomfortable and like kind of like leans away, even though
She's on his shoulder.
Just-
Yeah, on his shoulder. Okay.
And Havel's gonna scurry on over, trying to stay as inconspicuous as a tiefling wearing very flamboyantly rich clothing can
And
be,
a hat torn through his
and a
horns.
hat torn through his horns.
Yeah. It's rainy now.
Yeah. Oh god, his clothing's wet. Havel's gonna approach the librarian and go, You, librarian. Librarian?
Aye. What can I do for you?
How in contact are you with the rest of the pages?
I can be when I need to be.
I need to know the location now of 2 people. A redhead with a bow, wearing a very fine dress, and an elf with a vendetta and a whole lot of armor.
I saw them go up the stairs
Just now?
just probably about 10, 15 minutes ago.
Onto the 3rd floor.
Onto the 3rd level, yes. They
What
had
the-
two,
what-
They had 2 kids with them.
What are we doing here? And
I
he
don't know.
takes-
Don't ask me for information.
takes a gold coin and he tosses it to him and he goes, "You're a good man." And then like turns around and goes,
Thank
"They
you.
were on the 3rd floor."
Oh, well then, what are we doing here?
Apparently, I don't know. Apparently, okay,
To
let's
the
go.
3rd floor, quickly now.
So you guys, by the time you get to the top, you're a little winded as now you're making your way around probably about a half a mile and then down the stairs and then going back up the stairs, which is probably about 60 feet of stairs in and of itself that you're not even going back up. Where are you going?
Wait, what are we doing? Of course, they would go back to our inn. We're all there. Let's go back to the
Thought
inn.
that we didn't like it there.
But that is a centralized location where we're. That is our best bet.
That's okay.
Okay,
We can go.
I'll believe you.
Edward
soulless man.
dispels and says, "Oh, I guess we're far enough away, and I don't like looking like that, anyways."
I
And then he
swear.
says, "Now, wouldn't it make sense for if the witch met with the orc at the Sunrise Inn? Wouldn't it make sense that maybe the witch would go there to ask questions if something went wrong? I don't know if that's the best choice."
We just have
I
to
don't know.
investigate all of our options. We know one place here that all of us know. I say we check it out. If they're not there, we go. We find somewhere else.
If he is
Okay,
lying
fine.
to me, I know how to find them. Let's go.
If the witch
So, you
shows up,
guys-
it's not my fault.
So you guys book it over to what you know is the gate to the Sunrise Suite and then begin making your way up. What pairs are you in?
Oh no.
Oh.
I go through 9.
Edward, it's you and me.
Just like old times, I guess. And steps on the pedestal.
Would you like me to carry you?
Please, no. Anything but that. No, please, no.
So
Don't touch me. Don't look the other way.
Oh,
turn
DM,
around.
no. DM, don't do this to us, DM.
Which one of us gets stabbed?
you all begin going up to the Sunrise Suite in your pairs.
Yeah.
And it takes about 10 minutes before you arrive on the ledge. The gold bar merges with the bars at the top of the little pedestal, and you are allowed to enter into the Sunrise Suite. At which point, upon entering in, you can see nothing in there.
Nothing? What do you mean?
You go in and go back to where your rooms were, and Catherine and Laura are currently in either of their rooms trying to dry off the kids.
I mean, I don't know. I would have said we just went into Laura's room and just were drying them off.
As
I
you
thought
step in,
I thought you meant
Renaya.
something else entirely. Oh, thank God.
as you step in and go towards the rooms, you check each of them before finally getting to Melora's room, at which point you look in, and the first thing you see is a small gnomish boy with thin features, about a foot and a half
I'm
tall.
drying him off with a towel.
And he is kind of shaking his head, and as he opens his eyes, he sees you, at which point he immediately jumps away from Melora and goes, Renaya! And then kind of goes up and just hugs your calf.
No, I'm going down to his level and just hugging him.
Perfect. He hugs
Laying
you back, starting to cry just a little bit. You can see there are small little cuts all over him and a couple of bruises, but looks, in general, unharmed.
Renaya's crying too, and she's just kissing the top of his head.
Awesome.
Did
Yeah,
you say
Tyler.
that we could see 2 people? 2
There are
kids?
2 kids. There's what you would assume is Samuel, and then this other smaller girl, a little bit on the heavier side, sitting there, currently being dried off by Cather as he's.
Do I
crying.
recognize her?
You do not recognize her.
Okay.
Is that
Aye.
and Renaya's? She's actually here, and The witch did win.
So
We did it,
Let's
right?
not get ahead of ourselves. I assume Ginger got to you. Yeah. Where is
So
she?
Ginger jumps off of Edward's shoulder and then goes over to you, Melora.
He
I hug
brushes
her.
off his shoulder.
I hug her and I put her back on my shoulder. Now, we came here because this was probably the safest place that we could think of. However, I didn't think we should stay here for very long. And I didn't know how long it'll take until the witch knows what happened. Renaya, I didn't know what it was about, but I think I saw Malice
Aye.
fighting some sort of large black horned woman.
Religion check?
Go for it, Aaron.
Ooh, me too.
Yeah, I guess I never
Sure,
got a
whoever wants
chance.
to roll a religion check can.
Okay, neat.
All of you.
16.
Okay.
Ooh, that's actually maybe like pretty alright.
14.
There's no reason why I should know this, but you never know. Anything can happen.
17.
Okay. None of you recognize anything from the brief description that you were given or from the brief amount that you saw of them.
Okay.
Really fast. I'm going to do a quick once over of the kids to look for any sign of disease or anything that would look as though like orc meddling.
Roll a medicine check.
Okay. Oh gosh. Oh boy.
Meanwhile, Havel has actually left the room.
Not stellar. 12.
Wait. 12. You're looking through, and it seems as if they have, but no longer are being ailed by it.
So it's still currently within them?
It's not in them,
Okay, so it's
but you
it's
can see
gone.
that there have been signs of it present.
Which specific one? Are we talking True Dommage?
You can't quite tell with the 12.
Gotcha.
What did you say, Havel?
Havel has left the room.
Okay.
And he's going to go find Jericho.
Jericho, you search around for a little bit, and he's not currently in the building. That you can
That's not okay. Oh, that makes sense. He would want to not be a part of this.
As much as I would like to
Right.
stay and chat,
We should go.
well, here's a couple reasons why. One, there's a one-way ticket in and out of this place. Two, this might be a good place for the witch to look around. She's done business here before. So I think we better leave while we can before we get trapped up here.
Yes, quickly,
But
quickly.
where are we going? Where?
I know
Anywhere
a good
but-
alleyway on the 3rd level.
Let's try that.
Yes, let's
That's a good
go.
start.
Yes, Havel?
Very quickly, I'm going to check the back room that he took me to.
Okay, he's not there.
He's not there. Are there books there?
You can see there is a couple different books. One of them you recognize to be one for keeping records.
Okay, I open it.
Okay.
It's still here, though. Actually, now that I think about it, it's still here. Okay. Never mind. You know what? Never mind. We're going to leave now. Actually, no. Checking the last group of people. Who? What are all the names for the last week? Say.
The last week,
Yeah.
there is only one thing put in there, and it's your 6 names.
Okay. I tear out the page
Okay.
and I fold it up and I toss it into a fire.
There's currently no fire lit, but so you hold
Is
on
there
to
a
it.
kitchen?
Yes.
I go into the kitchen.
Okay.
Is there a fire in the kitchen?
Not currently.
These lamos. Okay, never. Okay, never mind then. It's on my person. Whatever. I fold it really teeny tiny.
You then meet up with the rest of them as they're making their way out the doors, carrying the kids with them, beginning to make their way out the building. So you guys all begin to make your way out the building, onto the platform, at which point you all 2 by 2 make your way onto these platforms. You're able to hold the kids, so you don't have to worry about them taking their own platform.
Renai is holding Samuel.
Okay, perfect. The 6 of you, 8 of you go down and make your way onto the 3rd level. Where are you going?
Down.
Away.
Second.
Anywhere.
Perfect. With you guys going into the city, refreshed, newly
Together?
joined
Acquainted?
and together, and reacquainted with Samuel, we're gonna end tonight's session.
What?
And you all level up.
Oh my god!
About flipping time.
Yay! About flipping time. About flipping
Oh
time.
no. Do you want
So-
to? Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna do this on stream. We're just gonna roll
Oh.
for your health. Everyone has to roll.
We have to roll.
You have to roll. It's
We
gonna
have
be
to
great.
roll. Can we re-roll on ones?
Right.
1s and 2s, I'll say.
Okay.
Ooh.
But you only get 1 reroll, so
It's not gonna help a whole lot.
Oh, why would you do this to us?
I didn't ask for this.
Hey, we found Samuel.
We did it,
As
guys.
far as we know right now, we won.
We did it.
No,
We
we haven't.
We won
won.
D&D.
We
you
won.
guys won
On D&D.
Do we
Campaign 1, all done.
do we want to
Good
take
job,
Taken
turns?
6. Could have just
We-
been a 6.
We done
Yeah.
did it.
We'll go through.
Oh, sick, a 10.
Nice.
All right.
And so apparently
I-
So
Aaron
Aaron got a
went,
10.
Aaron went first.
I rolled a 9.
Oh,
Very
we're doing
nice.
this now.
Yes.
Doing this now on stream.
So now I have 20 hit points.
Woo!
Oh no!
I'm so
What'd you get?
scared.
I got a 3.
I'm sorry.
Mm.
What'd you roll?
Edward got a 1.
You get a reroll of 1.
Yay!
You only get 1 reroll.
Edward got a 6. I almost said
Hey!
9, but it's a D8. So,
Nice.
do I add something to that?
Your
Const-
Constitution modifier.
Constitution modifier.
Constitution.
Yay!
Const-
Drew, what did you get?
Caution.
About to roll right now.
Do it. Fantastic.
Woo! Woo! That's a 9.
Nice.
Whoa.
And Havel, what did you get?
You got an 8. So that's a total of
11.
10.
Yeah, I gained a total of 11.
You guys have all basically effectively doubled your hit points. It's great.
Yes.
Pretty close.
Good. I can
Yes.
go hard
Right.
to this.
So,
Well- Yeah,
Mm.
that was our episode 5. It was obviously very, very productive for the. If you guys like this type of content, we stream every Monday night, just like you know. Definitely check out next week's episode as we resolve all of this tension and have them not be wandering in the night storm. And we have a giveaway for our shirt, as Hannah's showing off. So just be there for the stream. All you have to do is enter a keyword. I believe the keyword's going to be giveaway. So just enter that word in the chat. You can only enter it once, so don't try and do more than that. And then probably at the end of the stream or at the break, we're not quite sure yet, we'll be giving that shirt away. But yeah, anything that you guys want to say before we take off?
Yes.
Ooh, yes,
Premiering
go for it.
on the 14th. So not this Wednesday, but the Wednesday after it.
Yes.
Second little mini campaign that will be running through the 14th of October into mid-September.
November.
Every Wednesday,
November.
DM'd by me, is a little campaign I'd like to call Between the Rows, a Midwestern Gothic themed adventure. 6 episodes long.
Super, super fun.
For the first 2 episodes, by the way, all of this is pre-recorded, so let it be known. But for the first 2 episodes, you get to see all of my players cosplay as their characters.
Yes.
So that was super fun. Tune in. It's a blast. I'm having a fun time DMing it. And
It is
yeah,
very good.
Yeah, it's super, super fun. Like you said, that'll be on the 14th. There are 2-hour episodes. There's going to be 6 of them total. That will be going into mid-November, not September. And yeah, so definitely check them out. Super, super fun. It's awesome to have Aaron DMing a little bit. So yeah, definitely check that out. Anything else that we want to announce?
Hi there, this is Grant. I play Edward on the Paper Dungeon on the cast. And I would like to say real quick, if you are wondering if there is a way to support us, if you like the content and you'd like to see us spread our wings as a little stream and sort of a media assortment, if you'd like to see that and you'd like to support the stream, then go ahead and check out patreon.com/thepaperdungeon for all of your partnering needs with the Paper Dungeon.
Awesome. And we can also subscribe to us on Twitch, which would be super awesome too.
Yes.
I'm so freaking happy.
Yay.
So relieved.
Oh,
my
I'm
God.
so ready for the DM to tear
Something's
away
gonna
all
go
this
so
joy.
wrong, but I'm gonna hold
Question,
on to it
Can we
while
title
I have
this
it.
episode
Yeah.
Renaya Catches a Break? Christ, Drew.
Awesome. Well, if we don't have anything else to say, thank you so much for watching. We really appreciate you guys. We love you so much. Good luck and Godspeed, Dungeoneers. We'll see you next time.
Yes!
Yeah.